Is this thing on?
Are you ready, Matt?
You're listening to Box Office Bingers
with Matt Diaz and Ernesto Santos.
Good evening, folks. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Box Office Bingers.
And the only way that I know how to do it is to find you a bloody good devil.
He's my friend. I don't have friends. I got family.
I can do this all day.
Hello and welcome
put
to
your
another
mind
episode
to
of
it.
Box Office
Can
Bingers.
accomplish
Ernesto, we have a jam-packed episode for you guys this week.
It's a lot.
Tell them what we're looking forward to.
Oh, it's a lot. So we're gonna kick it off with We're gonna pretty much break down every day of CinemaCon, kind of the top things that are what we see as important, and then we're gonna wrap the show up talking about Super Mario Galaxy, and then we got Nick Rivera coming on for that part of the show. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys watched this last week. We had a 3.5-hour show talking about Project Hail Mary and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I think we had mentioned it in that episode last week that it's been a while since we talked about news. Almost 3 months. We had not talked about news in 3 months. And CinemaCon's like, hold my beer. I got I got a whole bunch of stuff.
You want to talk movies? Here you go.
You want movies? I got you movies.
Yeah.
You wanna know
Oh,
what's
careful
coming
what
out?
you wish. Careful what you wish for, Matthew. Here you are. Here's
you're
your
worried
news.
about the news? I'll give you news.
I'll give you some news.
Yeah, needless to say, CinemaCon gave us a lot. And I feel like CinemaCon in general has been, what would you say, has grown over the years. We've been covering CinemaCon for quite some time, but I think
Yeah.
this is the first year that like almost every major studio has come out and basically treating this like Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's
Like-
that's basically what it is. It's Comic-Con for just movies. And you know, Comic-Con still
Yeah.
does that to a certain extent, but this is like a little bit more deliberate of more than just, I guess what it was before was like nerd news. Like
Yes,
anything related to the cons, you know, nerd related, and now this is like, no, this is all of it. Here's everything.
Yeah, basically, here's our like all the big not summer block, but all the big blockbuster movies that are coming out within this year, and I would say even the next year, like coming out next year, and even some movies we're gonna be talking about in 2028. Like they're going far out
Mhm.
of the next 2 years of some of the biggest movies that are coming out within every studio. So I just find it interesting how CinemaCon has grown
Mhm.
over the years into that, because it was just like a small thing where like sometimes they would like show a movie, like a full movie before anybody else, and just like basically easing the cinema owners. They're like, hey, we still support you in your theaters and stuff like that. But yeah, I just find it really interesting that it's grown that much. And so yeah, as Ernesto pointed out, we're going to be covering over everything that CinemaCon has to offer for the most part in the first part of the show, and then Nick Rivera is going to be joining us in the back half of the show when we talk about Super Mario Galaxy movie, and we had a great conversation with him with that as well. So looking forward to hear your thoughts. And again, we use that timestamps. Might be a long one. Don't know for sure yet. We'll figure that part out. But anyway, let's start off with the news, shall we? With CinemaCon. CinemaCon, for people who don't know, CinemaCon 2026 happened over this past weekend, and it is the annual gathering of movie theater owners. And it's basically delivered a couple of big announcements from all of the major studios. This happened last week in Vegas, and we're first going to start off with day one with Sony Pictures. And my man, this man needs to read the room. That's all I'm saying. So Tom Rothman, chairman and CEO of Sony Pictures Sony Pictures of Motion Picture Group, was the first to take the stage to kick off CinemaCon. And apparently he had some words to say and came down pretty hard on cinema owners, ticking off 3 key changes he thinks owners need to make for the health of the industry. And before I go off the 3 things that he recommended, again, I'm just saying, read the room. This whole convention is meant to ease theater owners and kind of applaud them for owning movie theaters, showing their movies on the big screen. It's basically for them. Over the years, has now turned into like A lot of media and influencers are invited to this convention. It was also very closed off in years past. Now they're using this as a news and like big announcement platform. And my man said, "Hey everybody, I have notes to what you're doing. This is a good place to say all that stuff." He said things are better, but admissions are clearly down from pre-COVID, and we all have urgent work to do. For our part, that means delivering a variety of great films of all kinds for audiences. But you, my friends, have an urgent part to play. Then he goes on to explain those three key things that he thinks that are needed the theater owners to do. One of which is to enforce longer windows, even if that means you cannot play every film in the theater. Two, get rid of endless advertising and substantially shorten long pre-shows. Then he went on to say, get rid of the ad crack. And and the third thing he said was affordability is by far the hardest. Going to the movies must become affordable again. It's not easy. It's hard. And business, I know, has been tough. I am rooting for you because you have been wonderful. So, before we kick off the rest of the news, I think that's a very interesting way to kick off your CinemaCon by basically saying that the theater owners are not all of them anyway, are doing the full potential of their part.
Matt, here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Do you agree with him?
Do I agree with everything that he's saying? I think there is a cause and effect to everything. Do I agree with him? Yes. However, I can understand where the theater owners are coming from, specifically with point number 2. He says, get rid of the endless advertising.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, it does take 30 minutes, basically 25, between anywhere, depending on what movie you go see and what theater you go to, but it is 20 to 30 minutes of ads before the movie starts. So basically, he went on, I didn't write this down, but he went on to say that basically people are trained to not show up at the start time, which I am one of those people.
I am notorious. Oh, movie starts at 1:30? Good. I don't actually have to get there until 1:50. Like 1:50 is like, all right, I can't really walk in. And even then I'm like, maybe I just missed the previews, because we also have like 2 or 3 minutes of like previews just for the theater, where it's like like AMC, they have the, we got Nicole Kidman walking in, and then you got this other one where it's like the guy throwing the popcorn up, and he's like about how movies transport you, because then he's in Fast and the Furious, and then it's like, and then it's like enjoy the show, and then if you're in the Dolby theater, it's like boom, welcome to Dolby, and then he does the whole Dolby pre-show. So I get it.
It's so funny, when the movie's about to start, so I mainly go to Regal, and I get the roller coaster Regal ad, I get the Regal Unlimited ad, and there's also like some like stupid like trivia that happens also promoting theaters, and it's like, all right, so those 3 back to back, all right, the movie's about to start. Like if I walk into theater and I see Regal playing, I made great time. That means I got my seat, the movie's about to start. But yeah, it is 20 minutes. And granted, they say that, he said that people are trained to go in, and so they miss trailers that the studio, not just like, I think he's mainly talking about Sony studios, but also other studios are promoting that they want you to see. And so people are missing that, so that like they're missing on some promotion. So like people are trying to come in later just to see the movie. I hear what he's saying. I get it. I really do. But how are theaters? I don't think that's just like, he's saying it's hard, like make the tickets affordable, lessen the ads. Theaters are already struggling. I can't see other ways at this moment that they can supplement the cost of people not always wanting to go to the theater. I'm not saying that like theaters are cheap. However, they do have subscription services that if you go to the theaters frequently that you and I partake in, it does not become an unaffordable thing if you want to see more movies. So like you pay, I think you and I probably just call it the $30 range that we pay monthly, probably a little bit less than that, to see as many movies for the most part that we want. And if you see more than 2 movies a month, it becomes worth it. If you see the one movie and you pay the $15, then, the 15, 20 bucks, that's just the standard nowadays. I don't know.
So I hear you. I hear you, and I agree with you. So if you're going to make somebody pay that much for a ticket, then maybe my thing, what I would add to him is what I think what the theater experience needs is somebody to be almost like an enforcer or so, like a security of almost that walks into the theaters and sees people on their phone, says, "Hey, get off your damn phone. This is what you paid." Almost like an usher at when you go to a live performance and you're being loud and you're on your phone, the usher will say, "Get out." Like that. That's what theaters need. They need ushers to actually usher, because what has happened is that the theater experience is almost ruined. I either come in the middle of the day when there's nobody there, or if I have to see a movie on a Friday when there's a lot of people there, I sit in an area where not a lot of people are. Like it almost like it's not worth it to sit in the middle, in the best seat, in the center, because I already know the people around me are gonna annoy me so much that I'm not gonna enjoy the theater at all. So to me, what needs to be fixed is, more than anything, is fix the theater experience. Have your staff actually police people in the theaters, because that's going to make somebody say, all right, well, if they're going to treat it like you would a live theater performance, then it's going to be worth it. Get somebody in there with the annoying flashlight. Boom, blast it in their face. Hey, get off your phone, dipshit. Hey, you, shut the fuck up. How about that? Like, that's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Like, because otherwise it's going to say, why am I going to even go out to the theater? I would rather save the money of going to every theater experience and just invest in a really good home theater, and I can just have movie night, an epic movie night in my own setup at the house. You know what I mean? Like it's almost, it's not worth it. To me, that's what's gonna bring people back to the theaters.
I feel like there's also, I think, to back on the theater owners is investment into the theater. Like, I know, again, that costs money, but also when, and we see it right now, and we see with other movies, and other movies are basically demanded to be seen in the theater. And then right now that movie is Project Hail Mary. So much so that they're bringing it back into IMAX theaters and they're making it a big deal. And like the IMAX theaters that are showing the 70 millimeter are sold out. Like they sold out weeks ago. Granted, they're only sparse locations around the country, but still, it shows the demand. People are wanting to see it. Project Hail Mary and Amazon just announced that they were going, I mean, based off the box office numbers, they are extending its theatrical release because it's doing so well. No shit. Like, you'll be leaving money on the table if you decided to pull it to make it available at home right now, because people are seeing that this is the movie that is demanded to be seen on the big screen. So I think for me is that I think movie theaters should be focusing on quality of the theater itself to make people want to go to the theater, because some of them are run down, and I get it. You know, some of them, you go to certain theaters, the Dolby, your IMAX to get that experience. But like, for example, the Regal over at iDrive, they have the theater. They don't want to make the investment to get the proper IMAX projector. That IMAX projector, not recently, but a few years ago, it broke and they never replaced it. They got a cheap alternative. And so, like, when people go to the theater, if you're into that kind of thing, you're like, I got the screen, I don't have the picture quality. So when it comes to like picture quality in the Orlando area for IMAX, if you're interested, then the best IMAX projector in Orlando right now is on the AMC Altamont.
It's a good one.
However, it does not have the screen.
Yeah.
So
it's
you're
like
losing out.
One or the other.
Exactly. Do you want the big screen or do you want the better picture? And then there's also Dolby's around Orlando as well that are touting that they have better sound and better picture. And that may be true. But then when you have movies that are like, this is filmed for IMAX and you want to see it in IMAX, then you have to make a decision on that front. And that decision will be made. Probably the next big movie to come out is The Odyssey from Christopher Nolan. So like, he's touting about, you must see my movie in IMAX because this is the purest form to watch my movie. And if you want to see that in this Orlando area, you're going to have to make a decision. And so they just stuff like that. So like, I feel like if movie theaters will focus on either the better seats, better, like you said, the overall experience of going to the theater, and like make it worth the cost of admission. Yes. I'm not saying to bring your prices down, just make it worth the cost of admission for me wanting to go to your theater. That's kind of the end of the day.
And I'm gonna make, when I say for them to police it, I want to make it clear. I understand that customer service is hard. That you're gonna piss a lot of people off. But you know who you're gonna make happy? The people who are gonna sit there and they go, damn, I went to go see this movie and some guy was on their phone and they actually brought somebody in here to get his ass out. And so they're going to tell their friends. That's going to be a good story. They're going to tell their friends and they're going to go, damn, that seems like it's worth it to go back to the movie theater. But I understand somebody who's worked in customer service. I understand what it's like to have people scream in your face and people not be happy when you tell them to do something that they don't want to do. So I get it. It's hard. It is going to be hard, but it is 100% worth whatever you're going to have to invest for that to happen.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what the point that he is making is that there is a change that needs to happen.
100%. And that's why I agree with, like, maybe not the longer windows, because with streaming and how fast things become available, that one's going to be probably harder to enforce. I think what we're talking about, you're talking about the quality, like I actually didn't know that about the between the Altamont IMAX and the iDrive IMAX. But that makes sense. But I could help you with that because the answer is always Dolby. So you already knew where I was going.
That's why I mentioned Dolby in that same breath. I knew where we were going with this.
No, but you make a good point because that AMC in Altamont also has a Dolby theater, but the AMC in Altamont is nothing compared to the AMC in Disney Springs. Correct. Which is like a third story balcony. Like it's just a much bigger theater, a much bigger Dolby experience. It's different. It's not. They are not the same.
No, they're not. But also, like for me, going back to like even comfortability into my theater, I really like going to the Winter Park and the Regal Theater in Winter Park because they have the comfy recliner chairs. Every theater has that. Like I don't have to like sacrifice. Oh well, I only get the comfy chairs if I go see it in RPX.
Yeah,
it's a full recline. It's also bad because sometimes I take naps. However,
same.
However, like when I go to an AMC, I don't feel like all of the seats are like that, and it's very like a standard chair. And then if you go see Dolby, it's not a full recline; it's like a half recline. It's like enough to get you settled in, but not like put your feet up or anything like that. So like I feel like for me, I choose comfort over like saying other factors. But then there's certain movies that come out that's like I have to see it in this, and I'll make a decision either Dolby, RPX, 40X, IMAX. Like I know this will enhance my experience, so I want to see that movie in that way. And even going back to what he was saying, having longer theatrical windows, yes. Asterisk, certain movies, yes, because there are also certain movies I don't demand. Like the box office numbers are not there to elongate your movie in the theater. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
100%.
Project Hail Mary, people are going to the theater. It's making money. Keep it in the theaters. Same thing with Super Mario right now. It's doing extremely well. A movie that just came out, like I think I talked about this already, but They Will Kill You.
Yes. You did last week.
That movie came out 2 weeks ago. I think the week before Super Mario Bros. I don't even think it hit the top 3 in that box office that week. I think it hit like 4 or 5. Or maybe it did hit 3. I don't remember exactly the box office numbers. However, that is going down now because there are other movies people want to see. So if you're looking to get a return on your investment, you might be quicker just to put it out at home. You know what I mean? That's just the nature of the game. So I agree with him that there is change, but maybe not everything that he's saying, because he's not wrong. It's going to be hard to make those changes. But yes, you can also focus on quality, but this is also the same company, just putting it out there, that puts out the shitty Spider-Man alt movies like Venom and Morbius and Madam Web. So you're talking about quality, sir? Fact check your movies you're pushing out, first of all. Then the second thing, you're also the movie studio that partners with Netflix to release your movies onto the streaming service. And the big one is K-Pop Demon Hunter. That was from Sony Animation. You, sir, decided to partner with Netflix on that deal. You could have put that movie in the theaters and made a lot of money. So, just
Matthew,
saying.
That's a mic drop. That's a really good point.
Just saying, sir. So, like, I agree with you, but also you're making choices too that benefits your studio.
That's true. And I mean, what if they had released it into I don't know if that was Netflix or their decision, but like an extended window past the one weekend for K-Pop Demon Hunters for the sing-along.
Yeah, that could have been a Netflix thing. Yeah, like I think Netflix in partnership with Sony Animation came out with K-Pop Demon Hunters, but obviously, and within Sony Animation. So to me, that sounds like that Netflix upfront the cost to make Sony's movie.
Yeah.
Like that's what it sounds like to me. So therefore, Netflix also owns part of it. So again, but if they wanted to, and if they worked out a deal, they could have extended that theatrical release if they wanted to,
It's
because
true.
clearly a lot of people wanted to see it.
It was number
Um,
one. It was number one that weekend. Imagine if it. Imagine
For the
what
one
that could have.
weekend.
Imagine what that could have done for the theaters if it was in there
Yeah.
for a full run, like 3 months or even just a month. And that was
Yeah.
like, wasn't that right before the holidays? Can you imagine a K-pop sing along in theaters during the holidays? Like
Yeah.
what that would have done, like a full sing along versions where you allowed people to be loud. That would have been great for families
Yeah.
during
Just
Thanksgiving.
saying.
Just saying, sir. It's a good point.
CEO and chairman of Sony, Tom Rothman. Just saying.
Just
Anyway,
saying. All right. I guess we can move on.
all right. Yeah, moving on. So after that, then Sony Pictures officially kicked off CinemaCon by giving us some updates. The first one is all about their golden boy. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man Brand New Day and Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. They showed new footage for both films, and new images and posters were released on social media. And then also confirming that Spider-Man Brand New Beyond the Spider-Verse is hitting theaters June 18th, 2027. And obviously, Spider-Man Brand New Day is still slated to hit theaters on July 31st of this year. So if you're watching us on YouTube or on Spotify, you'll see some of the posters and the images they put out. I think the big one here that I'm looking at is it looks like we're doing some sort of time travel or flashback, because we see younger versions of Miles Morales' dad and
Mm.
uncle in that photo. So, or alternate versions of those characters. So clearly we're exploring the multiverse as we have been for this last two movies.
Do I also see that that's black suit Spider-Man on that image in there? Or is
Yeah,
that just,
I
or is that just like him fighting some, but the colors have changed, inverted in that moment? Otherwise, it looks like black suit Spider-Man.
it does. I don't know how, you're right. I don't know how to take that image because that could be Miguel, just like in a different, like, you know how crazy animation and colors they are in that movie.
And they
So,
switch.
like,
They usually switch back and forth during, so that could just be the image from that point. But I mean,
Right.
overall, the movie looks, both movies. I'm excited for both, but
yeah.
I can't wait to see what. Now, my question. So, let's see. This comes out after Doomsday, but
But before Secret Wars.
So what goes beyond the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go there, but
We've
they
talked about it.
could.
I've talked about it before. Like in the
Yes.
comics, Secret Wars is what brings Miles Morales, is literally the event that brings him over. So
I mean, it would be really cool if they decided to do that. But it is in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and we're still unsure of when Spider-Man takes place. I do believe, like Spider-Man Brand New Day, I
Mhm.
do believe that will take place probably before the events of Doomsday. That makes sense to me.
Mhm.
But I don't see Spider-Man being involved in Doomsday, and I don't think this movie will have any ties leading into Doomsday either. I think this will act as a standalone. Daniel Destin Cretton, who is like Shang-Chi, pretty much stood on its own. Wonder Man stood on its own. Actually, speaking of Wonder Man, it just got renewed for a second season, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so, like, with Daniel Destin Cretton directing Brand New Day, I don't see him. I don't see him basically like having this lead into anything.
Yeah.
Also, it's worth noting that the one of the Spider-Man Brand New Day posters has MJ in, within his eyes, I guess. One of his views that's very reminiscent to the Sam Raimi posters,
That's right.
where we have like the villains or certain characters in his eye view. So I think that's not by accident. Just saying.
Yeah, it's very close, like the reflection in the visor.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Spider-Man, no slowing down on Spidey content. I mean, not to mention that Amazon is coming out, I believe it's next month, if I'm not mistaken. We have Spider-Man Noir coming out as a series on Amazon
right.
Prime. So yeah, I mean, Spider-Man's here to stay, and this new movie, and I am so beyond excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. There's so much hype on this movie, and it was crazy that we were supposed to get it a year after Across the Spider-Verse, and then we had to wait. I believe it'll be 4 years, instead of the one, and just to get it right. But I think it's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, moving on to weapons director Zach Krager offers first look at Resident Evil reboot and explained that he is a huge fan of the games and hopes to bring it more in line with the spirit of the source material, and that's set to open in theaters on September 18th. I'm really interested. Apparently, he showed like some first look footage and a very creepy stuff here. I do like that he said he wants to bring it in line with the source material because I feel like that franchise has definitely lost its way more times than one when it comes to that. I'm
Mhm.
not a big Resident Evil fan, but I am turning into a Zach Krager fan, so I think this might be the one that I will watch just to see how he works.
Yeah, same. I think obviously his horror is worth watching. I mean, Amy Madigan winning the the Oscar
The Oscar.
for his movie last year, and
Yeah.
movies and that Weapons is a great movie. Weapons is a great movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jumanji 3 is officially titled Jumanji Open World as the film, which brings the video game characters to the real world, which was basically teased at the end of the last movie, as well as the threats of the world in which they came, which I should have just continued reading. The movie was just got pushed to Christmas Day of this year, and
Mhm.
we talked about that of the reason of that last episode. Director Justin Lin, who's the director behind Fast and Furious 3 through 6 and 9, confirms that he will be the director of a Helldiver movie based on the popular top-down shooter Sony Entertainment video game franchise and will star Jason Momoa. It follows an elite shock troopers known as Helldivers who battle alien threats, including bugs, cyborgs, and illuminant forces attempting to destroy the interplanetary empire of Super Earth in the sci-fi action adventure expected to hit theaters in 2027. That could be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Definitely
either,
has
could either be really good or really bad. That's
Yeah.
usually falls in one of those categories.
Very true. He's definitely known for. He's also the director behind Star Trek Beyond,
Mm.
which was the third movie in the J.J. Abrams lineup. So, like, I mean, most of those movies are bad. If anything is for certain, he's definitely knows how to. Uh, I said none of his movies were bad.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
thought
he-
you said none of his movies. I thought you. Sorry, I thought you said. I thought you meant like none of his movies were good. Like
Oh,
they,
no,
I thought you said
no.
that they're all bad. I was
No,
like,
no.
wow.
I mean, the Star Trek movies are. I like the JJ. I like
like
the
those.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I like
bad.
the two movies before Beyond. I will say that, and he's definitely had a hit or miss when it comes to the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Like 3 was good, 4 was good, 5 was good, 6 was okay, 7 was better. Uh, well, 7 was better because he didn't do it. 8 was good, and then 9 was a bomb. I did not like 9 at all. So yeah, so there's that. So I think he's a hit or miss of that franchise, but he knows how to direct action, and I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
So this very much feels like is it Super Troopers
Yes.
vibe?
That's what I was
That
thinking.
definitely, yeah, it feels very much in that vibe. So curious to see a new IP come out of the woodwork. Just definitely, if anything, a trailer needs to be seen to see how the vibe is on that one.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it could be goofy as well. The next chapter in the Insidious franchise has officially got a title, Insidious Out of the Further, and also got a new trailer that you can see on social media. It opens in theaters August 21st. Godzilla Minus One director Ta-
Takasha.
Takasha nope,
Yamazaki.
thank you. Announced his first English language film titled Grand Gear, which will also be produced by J.J. Abrams, showcasing a giant mech fighting a monster. That's all we got from it. So sounds off rip sounds very much like Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
And it's scheduled to be. It already got a release date of February 18th, 2028. So mark your calendars for that. And then quickly talking about Sony Pictures. This was not announced at CinemaCon, but again, we're kind of just wrapping up a lot of news here, so might as well just talk about all of them here. It was announced that Sony Pictures is developing a Metal Gear Solid movie based on the nearly 40-year-old video game franchise. Final Destination Bloodline directors Zach Lipowski and Adam B. Steen are attached to write and direct the film, with rumors suggesting that Oscar Isaac will be starring as the lead, playing Solid Snake.
I
The
can see
story
that.
would follow. Yeah, I can definitely see that as well. The story would follow Solid Snake as he is dispatched to retrieve an advanced tank stolen by a terrorist group. Pretty simple stuff here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, I used to love the Solid Snake games. They were pretty great, and so be interesting to see what comes of that.
Yeah, and I've clearly the Final Destinations duo, those director duos, they are getting a lot of work now after, and it was, I feel like Final Destination Bloodlines was like a moderate success. Like, I wouldn't say it was over the top, but it definitely made a lot more money and people liked it. So I think from there they're just hitting the ground running. There's like, okay, we got something now to start making all these movies, and studios are coming to them to make their next big project. And I'm really interested to see like the styles that came out of Bloodlines, and then putting this into like an action, which seamlessly would be like a rated R, like bloodfest of a movie.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what comes of that.
But yeah, moving on.
All right. So, Sony Picture Animation announced a slew of new movies, including Clara and the Sun, a new animated film based on the 2021 novel of the same name, directed by Taika Waititi and stars Jenna Ortega, who plays the titular robot who is created to ease the loneliness of the people she lives with. The film is slated to release on October 23rd. All right.
I'm actually quite surprised by that, because you know nothing about this movie, but yet it's coming out in October of this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's already based on a book, so I'm sure it was quick to make. They already have the story. The story's already there
For the most part. And also, Taika Waititi, this is what you've been working on these past couple of years? Had no idea.
Has he done has he done anything animated before, or is this his first?
I think he's done voice work before. I don't think he's directed anything animated, not that I can recall anyway. But I know he was the first thing that comes to mind is that he was one of the space rangers in Lightyear.
That's right, he was.
And also notoriously he's the voice of Korg in the Thor movies, but that's not animated. It's a CG character, but it's not like an animated movie. But I think he does a lot of voice work.
So no, I just looked it up. Taika Waititi has not directed any animated feature films before Clara and the Sun. This will be his first time directing a fully animated or partly animated feature film in this dystopian sci-fi adaptation of Kazuo Ishiguro's novel. So that's really interesting. So this will be his first time directing an animated film. So I'm actually very interested to watch this now.
Yeah, I'm also, again, this is now from Sony Animation, again the same studio that gave us a lot of movies that premiered on Netflix. Mitchell's versus the Machines, K-pop Demon Hunters. But they decided to put this one in theaters. It seamlessly. Anything coming out of CinemaCon, I wouldn't say, and now you can watch it on Netflix. So I'm pretty sure this is coming to theaters. So interesting, very interesting movie. That this is the one they decided to put in the theaters. So I'm very much looking for. I mean, I'm a big Taika fan, so
yeah, I guess
curious to see how this turns out.
I guess I'm gonna have to read the book then.
I guess so.
Oh, are we gonna do it again, Matt? Are we gonna do that to ourselves? Are we gonna read the book before we watch the movie?
Let me look at the back. See how long. Let me get the synopsis.
How many hours on Audible?
How many hours I gotta commit? Do it that way. Let me look at some reviews first. Let me see what I'm working with before I want to put myself through that again.
Okay. All right. So we also have Buds, an original animated film about a houseplant which break the plant kingdom's rule of never talking to a human as a means to save his human best friend. It seems like a move that is going to invoke chaos amongst the entire plant kingdom as humans discover plants can speak. In theaters, December 2027. All right. So like Toy Story, but for plants. And then just going on the storyline, what if Andy hurt his toys? I mean, all right. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting premise. I'm kind of curious. Sure.
Yeah.
It's coming to theaters.
Coming to theaters.
And that's December 27. That's like, so we saying like Christmas 2027? Like this is going to be your big Christmas release? All right. We'll see.
All right.
Let's see what
All
comes
right.
of that.
Yeah.
We also have. I could be eating my words. This movie could be amazing, and then I'm talking.
Could
I'm
be
just
amazing.
talking shit. So we'll see what happens. All right. Finally, from Sony, we have an R-rated animated Bloodborne movie, which is in development based on the popular video game series. I've never played it, but I've seen like picture. I've seen the box. I know that it's a good one. I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard it's
the
good.
only- I just know the cover.
Yeah.
That's it.
They must be good. They make there's
Must be good.
there's a few of them. So there's more than one Bloodborne game. So
Yeah, and also I'll give credit for Sony Animation. These are three very different, what seamlessly feels like very different movies.
yeah,
And also exploring a rated R film as well under their slate. It feels like they're very willing to just explore the gambit with animation. I mean, and also this is the same studio behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, what's about to be Beyond the Spider-Verse. So like, yeah, like they know how to do animation and they know how to do it well. So I am interested to see the different stories that they come out with. Also, they came out with a movie called Goat earlier this year. That was like a goat playing basketball in Animal World. I don't know the full scope of that movie, but I will watch it eventually.
yeah. We actually almost saw it in theaters. It's supposed to be really good.
I heard it was
think
good.
It's Steph Curry, who's like
Yeah, he produced it.
right. He produced it. Yeah. So I've heard good things about the animation, about the actual story itself. So I am interested to watch that whenever it drops. Probably I guess on Netflix at some point.
Yeah, it'll probably be Netflix. But yeah, same here. So like I have a lot of respect for Sony Animation because they do a lot of good work.
So now let's move to day 2 with Warner Brothers. Their first big announcement came in the form of a new label under the studio called Warner Brothers Clockwork, which will be a home for singular filmmakers that powerfully connected with audiences theatrically across the world. The inaugural film under the banner will be a new project from Oscar-winning Anora director Sean Baker titled Ti Amo. Ti Amo? Ti Amo? It doesn't say
Yeah,
Ti Amo.
yeah.
Ti Amo. No further details were given except that the film is scheduled for a 2027 release. This is interesting. So this is kind of like what was that? Was it Searchlight or there was like where it's like smaller indie? They're gonna focus on smaller indie films, low budget films. I think that's great. I think having a dedicated place that's for small films. This almost seems like their response to A24.
Yeah, I mean Disney technically has it. They have, I mean, Searchlight Pictures, or no, sorry, it is Searchlight.
It is Searchlight, right?
Yeah, Searchlight Pictures is owned by Disney when they bought Fox. So they basically transformed that as their basically indie studio platform that, smaller, not smaller, but like, yeah, unknown directors, smaller budget films will have a platform to do that under Searchlight Pictures. But also we've also seen like movies that come out like basically the Oscar contenders will also be under the Searchlight banner.
Yeah.
I think we got A Complete Unknown was there, or the Bob Dylan movie with Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, it was A Complete Unknown.
Yeah.
That was under Searchlight Pictures as
Yeah.
well. So not like all indie directors, but I think when they want to like something that they feel could be Oscar contender, or they want to like not throw a lot of budget into it, but they can have a really good idea, solid script, like stuff like that. That's the platform they use. For Universal, it's Focus Features. They own that. And then A24 is kind of that's his brand.
Yeah.
So the fact that like Warner Brothers is turning that into this is no surprise. I think they were using New Line Cinema as an avenue for that at one point.
That's right.
But maybe now they're transitioning because they still own New Line. So I think maybe they're transitioning that type of filmmaking over to this banner, which sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Moving on, J.J. Abrams took the stage to introduce his new upcoming sci-fi film, The Great Beyond, which stars Glenn Powell, Jenna Ortega, Emma Mackey, and Samuel L. Jackson, and follows a young newlywed couple who struggles to survive against a supernatural entity. The writer-director, who hasn't helmed the film since 2019's Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, acknowledged that he had a lot of franchise films under his belt, but the original movies are his passion, and he wanted to make this one big. This one big. The Great Beyond opens on November 13th. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, he's done well with great IPs, but that just shows that he could do something even better with an original, like something that already has a base, but now something that he can build from nothing. I'm here for.
Yeah, and a film that comes to mind that was Super 8, excuse me, a movie that came out back in, I don't know, 2011, I believe. And he had a lot of like that's kind of like the first big sci-fi movie that came out that was like that made him a household name at that point. He was also known for directing and producing episodes of Lost, so he's been around, but I believe Super 8 was the big one that got him into Star Trek and started directing that movie. Again, I also could be wrong because I think Star Trek came out in 2009 and then Super 8 came out afterwards. So maybe Star Trek was his big break and then the other Super 8 was the one that kind of gave him the original, like, oh, okay, he's known for that. But it's kind of crazy that he's basically been in the producing game for quite some time now. And like, I mean, the last movie, like you said, was in 2019. So it's been 7 years since we had a movie from JJ Abrams. And I'm really curious to see him tackle an original idea in the sci-fi world. He definitely got caught up in the Star Wars of it all. So like he kind of did that, and then unfortunately he was tasked to basically give us this whole DC universe. He was producing a lot of DC content
Mm.
when it was like under the Zack Snyder universe, and then when Discovery bought Warner Brothers, all of that kind of went away. So he spent a lot of time kind of working in the DC universe and not really having anything to show for it. He also had a big deal with Warner Brothers at the time as well, and that kind of didn't go anywhere because of the merger that happened. And then even doubled down when when DC Studios became its own thing, and then none of those projects ended up coming to fruition. So I feel like as a creator, I would be very frustrated of kind of working a lot of these properties that didn't end up going anywhere. And then now going back to true form, all right, I'm just going to work on an original idea, and really excited to see what he comes up with because it's been a hot minute since we've seen like a really, really good movie from JJ Abrams.
Yeah, I have an answer to your question.
Okay.
His feature directing debut came later with Mission Impossible 3 in 2006, and then the Star Trek reboot in 2009, Super 8 in 2011, and then 2015, The Force Awakens, the Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Yeah. So really only one big original movie under his belt.
Yeah.
After that, he's been kind of on the franchise train for quite some time now.
He
But yeah,
also directed a 1991 drama with Harrison Ford called Regarding Henry.
Oh,
This was his first solo screenplay to get produced and put him on the map for Hollywood.
interesting. I had no idea about that.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Okay.
But I know, like, for me, I first discovered him with Lost because he directed a lot and produced that show. But yeah, so I'm very curious to see what this movie's all about. I am like, this year we're cooking with a lot of sci-fi content this year.
I feel like it's only going to
Um,
grow, especially just kind of like where we are with everything.
yeah, yeah, and this is not even the last time we're talking about sci-fi shit. So
Exactly.
like, there's a lot more on the docket here. So for the rest of the panel, Warner Brothers presented a slew of new trailers and footage from the highly anticipated titles releasing this year, with the star power to match on hand. Titles include a new film for Birdman and The Revenant director Alejandro Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Yes, is that Gonzalez?
Inarritu?
Inarritu. Yeah. Yep. Titled Digger, starring Tom Cruise, and that hits theater October 2nd of this year. We already got a trailer for this a couple months ago. It looks really interesting. Apparently, Tom Cruise is unrecognizable. The story is apparently crazy. It's already being touted as an Oscar contender for next year. So definitely one we're going to be looking into when October comes around. Evil Dead Burn, a sequel to 2023's Evil Dead Rise, will hit theaters July 24th, with a sequel already confirmed to be in development titled Evil Dead Wrath. scheduled for a April 7th, 2028 release. So clearly they got plans for this. And I think this is going to be one of the it's been a while since the Evil Dead movies have been connected. There was a reboot, there was a show, and I think now they're going back into telling a linear story. A lot of them were kind of standalones, but I did not see Evil Dead Rise. I heard a lot of good things though.
I don't think I saw that one.
I'm interested now that it's going to be a trilogy. I have my love-hate relationship with the Evil Dead franchise, but I'm willing to give it a shot because a lot of people said Rise was really good.
Okay.
Let's see. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman return for Practical Magic 2, hitting theaters September 11th, which was slated for Clayface, DC Studios Clayface, but then with that date, that release date has now shifted to October 23rd.
That makes
So
sense.
let's shift it back around Halloween season.
And now it's a Halloween release, so it's a
Yeah.
spooky movie. Comes out during
Spooky movie.
season.
Makes a lot of sense. Actually, at the time of this recording, Practical Magic 2, the trailer just dropped today. So if you
Nice.
want to check that out. Other new additions on the release schedule confirms that Weapons prequel titled Gladys will hit theaters September 8th, 2028, and we'll see the return of Amy Madigan as Gladys. I think that makes a lot of sense considering she just won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that just confirmed that people wanted more, I guess. I'm not sure if I want more from that character. However, a trailer will answer that question if I care enough about this franchise, to be honest.
I think the better question is, do you?
I like the movie. I just don't know if it's warranted.
Yeah,
Like, it
I mean,
really
it is a
depends-
prequel. It is a prequel to how she got there. So I guess we're gonna see more of all that crazy shit she did in Weapons, of what she caused in there.
I guess. It was also confirmed that Zach Krieger will be returning to write the screenplay, but he's not directing it. So we don't know who the director is. And with that, Krieger continues to stay busy with his next original thriller titled The Flood, and which got a release date of August 11th, 2028. So he a busy man, to say the least. He got basically 2 movies coming out that is going to be under his property in August and in September of 2028. So Warner Brothers is definitely keeping him busy. And then not to mention he's coming out with Resident Evil with Sony that we talked about earlier. So yeah, this man's definitely keeping the momentum going with his career. Not slowing down there. An Ocean's 11 prequel film gets a June 25th, 2027 release date, which sees Bradley Cooper to write, direct, and star in the film alongside Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
we knew that Bradley. Yeah, exactly. We knew that Margot Robbie was attached to this prequel for quite some time now. I don't know if it was officially confirmed that Bradley Cooper was going to star alongside her, in addition to then now writing and directing the movie.
Yeah, I'm 100% here for that. I think he's a great director, and just showing that he can handle both. I mean, how many movies does he write, direct in? What was it? The Maestro, Star is Born, the one this thing on we just saw. So I have no doubt that this is probably going to be a really good movie.
Yeah. It was
I don't
also
even care.
announced-
I don't even care about the Ocean's franchise that much. I just care more. I'm only interested now because of his attachment to it.
Yeah, which is weird because it feels like a bigger franchise movie, and that doesn't seem like his MO.
Yeah, exactly.
So curious what story that he wrote for this that makes him now want to, like, what idea did he have in his head that wanted to him to write this, and then additionally then to direct it and then also star in it.
Exactly.
Final Destination 7 will hit theaters May 12th, 2028. And director Baz Luhrmann, who's responsible for Elvis and the Great Gatsby, his new movie about Joan of Arc will hit theaters November 22nd, 2028.
Great Gatsby, yes. Elvis, so maybe. That's a maybe on that.
One thing about Baz Luhrmann, he's all style.
That is true.
Definitely, he will give you a movie and a sense of style that you have maybe never seen before. I think he definitely focuses on style over story. That's the vibe I get.
That's a really good point.
So we'll see about this new movie. Again, we got a long time for that one to come out.
Very true. Very true. All right, so not announced at CinemaCon, but related to Warner Brothers, the cast lineup for The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum has been announced, as well as plot details. The story follows Aragorn's quest to capture Gollum between The Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring, tracking him to keep the ring's location for Sauron. The film explores Aragorn's early adventures as a ranger. Andy Serkis will direct the film as well as return to play Gollum. Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood are returning to reprise their roles, with Kate Winslet, Lee Pace, Jamie Dornan, and Leo Woodall joining the cast. The film is expected to hit theaters sometime in 2027. This is going to be great. Andy Serkis is a great director. I mean, he is Gollum, so there's really no way around that. So I'm excited for whatever this is going to be.
Is this? I think we talked about this before. Is this something new? Is this written somewhere, or is this a story that he's making up?
You are asking the wrong person. That is the answer to that question.
I have no idea.
I have no idea, but I can find out for you.
Okay. Because I do find it interesting, and I think these were rumors for quite some time. This is now the official announcement that Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood are coming back to play Gandalf and Frodo Baggins. Right? Is it Frodo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, to me, those are big comebacks to this franchise. And then obviously we knew that Andy Serkis was attached to direct it and returning as Gollum, but I just don't know if this is an original idea or if this came from anywhere.
Okay. Well, I have an answer for you. So
okay.
All right. So The Hunt for Gollum, and please, anybody who's like a Tolkien fan, a super fan, please. So if this is wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just I don't know, so I'm looking it up. So if you know for sure, if you tell me something I say is wrong, please let me know, because I'm searching on the interwebs, so I don't know the full detail of all of Tolkien's writings and how this plays in the Tolkien universe. So let me just put an asterisk on everything I'm about to say right now. All right, The Hunt. You know I'm right. You got to say.
Fair enough. Yeah. Just covering our bases here.
Yeah, folks. Exactly. The Hunt for Gollum. As a matter of fact, I'll just put it so we can all read it together. How about that? Let's go here and here. All right.
Look, this came from the internet.
Yeah. The Hunt for Gollum is not a fully written story in the Lord of the Rings books. It's a brief summarized event mentioned in a few places, with the 2026-2027 movie directed and starring Andy Serkis expanding it significantly. Where it actually appears in Tolkien's writings, the core premise comes directly from J.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, mainly the main text plus appendices, but it's very sparse, more like timeline notes and dialogue references than a detailed narrative. Key spots in the book: Gandalf describes searching for Gollum after learning about the ring from Bilbo. He mentions a long, difficult hunt with Aragorn. Gandalf says they searched the mountains of Shadow and the fences of Mordor, guessing Gollum lived in the Dark Hills, but we never found him, and at last I despaired. Aragorn later confirms he captured Gollum after a long search and brought him to the elves in Mirkwood for questioning.
Okay, so
there's links in the book that they're tying together into one film.
Okay. I'll put it this way. I like this. Without being a Lord of the Rings fan, I need to rewatch the movies. I've been recommended to go listen to the audiobooks by numerous people.
Especially the version read by Andy Serkis.
And it's been years. Like, I've only ever seen each movie once.
Yeah.
And I don't remember shit of any of them. So I got some work to do. However, this to me makes it seem like this is a fan, right? Like, hey, it's there in the written text, but I'm going to expand upon this and give it a movie. Is it just a ploy to make more money? Yes, I get that. However, I'll say it this way. I would rather this and you explore the Lord of the Rings franchise in ways that fans have thought about and coming into a place of passion, rather than conversely giving us a Harry Potter series telling the same story.
Oh, I 100% agree with you because this doesn't shit on what's already been done. Like this takes what's already there and it kind of just expands on it. Like we've heard about this in various places, but now let's put it together and you see the full adventure in its entirety. So yeah, I'm with you. And I think, but what's important is that is them bringing everybody back for this. I think that's important.
Like, I think, getting back into the universe, but also keeping some of the characters that are involved in the story. Yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal. And it could be really cool to see these characters come back into this franchise again.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
And who knows what could come out of this? Like this could also spark more ideas hidden within the text of the Lord of the Rings books. But yeah, and I will say, as an asterisk to that again, the Harry Potter series has the franchise has done that with the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It was a book in the universe, and they made 3 movies out of it. It didn't work.
Yeah.
However, I'm just saying, just do it again. Like find other subtext within the Harry Potter universe and give us that, rather than just doing a whole, another series, a whole series again, basically telling us the same story. I get that we're expanding on the book that the movies did not explore, but you're ultimately just telling us the same story. The fans of the movies and the fans of the book know exactly what to expect. Like there's no thrill of like what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen.
I guess that's a good point. That's a good point.
But that's why I'm just stating that I have the respect for this movie coming out because it feels something that is different but also familiar.
Yes, 100% agree. All right, so now, sorry, I gotta get my place here, Matthew. You threw me off.
Sorry.
So moving on to Neon. Godzilla -1 director Takashi Yamazaki took to the stage to hype up Godzilla -0, which he confirmed will be a direct sequel to Godzilla -1 and continue to follow the central Sekishima family. The first teaser was posted on social media showcasing Godzilla emerging from the water and walking past the Statue of Liberty towards New York City. Godzilla -0 hits IMAX screens November 6th. I mean, I'm here for this. I want more of this. As long as they keep the same, they just keep it that the core of what the last movie was, like it's going to be great. And I also can't wait to see it in theaters. This is a movie that demands to be seen in theaters. I've watched this movie in both places. It does not hit the same at home. It's still good, but it does not hit the same as it does in the theaters.
Did you watch it in black and white when you watched it at home?
No, we watched it in regular.
Regular.
I also, and this is just a side note, I also watched it in dubbed at home, and I watched it in subbed. Subbed will always be superior. That's just kind of the way it is. Like when I watched it dubbed with my family, it didn't hit the same way it felt. Like the connotations change and like how you perceive the person's voice as opposed to you reading it and hearing it in their language. It's not the same. So see this movie in the theaters.
Also talk about good at movie theater experiences. This is up there for me.
100%.
Of like a memorable movie theater experience. I went to go see with a group of friends, and the show times just lined up to where the 4DX screenings were better timing wise. Yeah. Like we didn't seek out to go see it in 40X, but the timing wise just made it like this was the most convenient. And my party has never seen a movie in 40X. So they were down to go experience that. And I have. And so let me tell you that I had one hell of a time in the theater. Like not only was the movie fantastic, but also it was definitely heightened by the 40X experience. I was so ready for Godzilla -0. All I have to say about this is let's go.
Let's go. That's right. That's right. All right. Moving on to Studio Canal. A reboot of John Carpenter's Escape from New York is in development, as well as Paddington 4. So
look at that.
Look at that. That's something to look forward to if you like that kind of thing. I've seen, I believe that's the Kurt Russell franchise, right?
Yes. I've never seen Escape from New York.
I've seen it. It's good. It's a
good. Okay.
It's a good, like, kind of cheesy action film. He's like
Yeah.
this guy with an eye patch. Like, it's pretty cool. It's fine. Like it'll
Seems
be
like a
it'll be
movie-
worth watching. I guess is what I will say.
I think it sounds like a movie that is okay that it's getting a reboot. Like
Yeah.
it has a cult following back in the
Yes.
70s or 80s, but then 40 plus years later, yeah, let's revisit that and modernize it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
And it's a movie. Forgive me, I don't remember, but I think I remember it being like almost like no, I don't want to say that because it's like post-apocalyptic. But I want to say that they had like technology in there that looked cheesy then, but with today's technology now, it would look like amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like where back then it was good and it was cheesy, but because of like the technology they had to use to make it, like it wasn't to where it is now. That something like that now would be incredible to watch on screen.
And I feel like the reboots like this, like even The Running Man, like I think that was a really great reboot to modernize. Like again, a movie with a cult following that can be introduced to a new audience.
Yes.
Not Moana Disney. Not
Yeah.
Moana.
Yeah. Wow, man. Tell us how you really. I'm with you. I actually 100% agree. Like, you see, we were in the theaters and they have the poster for Moana up there. So you see Dwayne Johnson with the wig on and all that, and it's just looks he just looks silly. It looks silly. Like it's an unnecessary live action that needs to happen.
I'm very, very curious of the box office numbers on this.
It's probably going to be big. It's probably going to be like Lilo and Stitch.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be big because you're going to see Dwayne Johnson turning into different animals like live action. Like it's going to be fucking huge.
I don't want to discount the work that goes into making a movie. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who got jobs out of this, and I get it. But there's a deep down dark side of me that want this movie to fail because I don't like this.
The issue is not like the vision that what they created. That's not the issue. The issue is the story that they chose to make this. That to me, that's the problem.
Well, they're just doing it again. It's a franchise that is still being used that they are now deciding to make more money off of it because it's popular and we live action everything. And it's like but you just came out with a sequel not but a year and a half ago. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like just make a Moana 3 and just do that. Like next thing you're telling me that because Zootopia made $1 billion, we're gonna be working on a live action Zootopia movie. No, that's not what that means. Like give us live action remakes of movies that have come out. Like they're overdoing it, but they're going to continue to do it. But at least do it with movies that, you haven't used in a while. Like Hercules. Seems like a great vehicle to have a live action remake on that. Just saying.
Please give us fucking live action Hercules. Like,
come on.
Like that would be absolutely incredible. But
I just don't get it. But I'm
with you. I'm with you. But we are going to move on to day 3 of Amazon MGM Studios. The highly anticipated Spaceballs sequel is officially titled Spaceballs, the New One, will hit theaters April 23rd, 2027. The film reunites Mel Brooks, Bill Pullman, Daphne Zuniga, and out of retirement, the GOAT, Rick Moranis, followed by co-stars Josh Gad, who is also writing the film, Lewis Pullman, and Keke Palmer. I'm actually really excited to see this movie for the main reason of seeing Rick Moranis come out of retirement. Like we've talked about it at length before. Like this movie's going to be great. I also think the title is really funny, and this is like we're in an age where we're starting to see a resurgence of like funny spoof films, and this is perfect timing for this movie to come out.
So Mel Brooks came out with a trailer that you can find online. Announcing Spaceballs, the new one. I guess there was a gag in the first movie that I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the first Spaceballs movie. But there was a gag where they were going to make a sequel called Spaceballs, The Search for More Money.
Yeah.
And so he came out in that trailer and said, I know what you're saying. We have the title for the new Spaceballs movies, and it's not The Search for More Money. And he literally goes, we found the money. It's right there. And it just pans over to a bag full of money. And then it goes back to him.
It's like, we got it. You're tied to the joke. You think it's funny? We got you. There's a reward. There's the payoff. The actual payoff for that.
Here's the actual payoff. This video is the payoff of that joke. We found the money. It's here.
It's here. Unless they reference it in the movie.
Yeah, so, yeah,
The movie opens with them finding the money.
the money. Well, now what we're gonna do? It's the new one.
It's the
And then
new one.
title.
That's what we got to do. That's good. Come on,
good.
Josh Gad. Let that be in there. That's a way to bring that joke back one last time.
That's comedy.
That's comedy. That's how you
That
make the
was
fun.
for free.
That's how you make the funny.
That was for free, Josh Gad.
Yeah, we charge for the next one. Don't worry.
Yeah. Uncle Roger, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He tells jokes.
He's a funny guy.
He's a jokester.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, the new one.
Spaceballs.
There you
The
go.
new
You're
one.
welcome.
There it is.
We have way too much
Record
money.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so we're gonna move on to director David Leitch. The Fall Guy director presents his new film titled "How to Rob a Bank," which follows bank robbers are posting their hosts on social media, causing police to chase them. The film stars Nicholas Hoult, Pete Davidson, John C. Reilly, and Zoe Kravitz. It's slated to hit theaters September 4th. Yeah, I'm on board for all of that. I mean, I'm not a huge Pete Davidson fan. Like, I didn't see any of his most recent films. Like, but I think he's funny. I love John C. Reilly, Zoe Kravitz, just great. Nicholas Hoult is amazing. So I'm here for that. I'm here for whatever this is.
Seems like a fun movie. I'm down for it. I mean, David Leitch, he's definitely known for his crazy action, so I don't see anything like different in this particular storyline. And another original movie, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. Marshala Ali and director Bassam Tariq presented a trailer for their action film, Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother, which does not have a release date yet, which is interesting as Bassam Tariq was at one point slated to direct Blade, starring Marshala Ali, but ended up leaving due to creative differences, eventually causing the film to go into an indefinite hiatus. Yeah, that's a fucking sad story is what that was, because that would have been... That would have been great. Like, so that we just never gonna bring. So Blade came out in the Eternals, and that's it. Not even he came. You get his voice. You get his voice. You get his voice in that movie. So what does that mean? We just don't get Blade in Marvel? Like, come on.
We'll get it. It would just be a very long wait, and
Not
they're
by
gonna
this
find a,
not by this director. So.
not by this director. But I found it interesting that clearly they're fine working together.
Yes.
So that wasn't a problem, clearly, because they just made a whole movie together.
Yeah.
So now I'm very curious to see what this movie's about. And given the context, obviously it's going to be different. I don't know any details about this movie. However, like, if I'm very interested in the style and the connection and the performances, because this could have been somewhat of a Blade movie, or at least the style of a Blade movie. I wouldn't say obviously directly tied to it, unless this is like, did they say it was an action movie? So yeah. We could definitely would have seen his style and see what we potentially missed out on with this directing / actor duo.
Yep, that's a really good point. It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Director Chad Stahelski, direct John Wick Chapter 1 through 4 director, and star Henry Cavill showed footage of their new Highlander reboot. Follows an immortal Scottish swordsman faces off with other immortal warriors in order to obtain a coveted ability. There can only be one Highlander. Sorry, have you ever seen Highlander?
No.
Get the fuck out of here, Matt. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Uncle Roger.
There can only be one. Come on, you got to watch that. You got to watch it.
Is it a comedy?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Okay.
It is like a actual action movie. It's great.
Oh.
90s,
Okay.
80s and 90s action. There's a couple of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm here for Highlander. I love Highlander. So I'm all here. I'm here for whatever that's going to be.
I mean, you see the image here.
I know it looks great.
Yeah.
And Henry Cavill, I mean, he knows how to handle nerd roles. Like,
yeah, very true.
Sci-fi action, that's his bread and fucking butter. So let's go. I'm here for whatever he brings. But the film also stars Russell Crowe, Karen Gillan, and Dave Bautista. I mean, expected to hit theaters 2027. That's a great cast. Like,
that's a banger.
That's gonna be a banger. 2027 box office binges guaranteed banger. It's gonna do big. I mean, you got the John Wick director, so you're thinking
crazy action.
But now, are we talking Chapter 1 John Wick, where it's like semi-grounded, or are we talking Chapter 4 where he's got a bulletproof vest that he gets hit by
In his
cars and
jacket.
in his jacket and he just get hit by cars. But I mean, Highlanders, it follows an immortal, so there's that sci-fi aspect to it. So either way, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm expecting big action. That's what I hear from the director. And same for David Leitch. You guys have predicated yourselves on different style of action, and you guys come from the same background as stunt performers. So that's what I'm coming to see to these movies.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's move over to, I think we're still in day 2. No, we're in day 3. Moving over to day 3 with Universal Pictures, and they're pretty light on the announcements, but they brought in some heavy hitters. Just Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan, name a few of those heavy hitters here. So Steven Spielberg took to the stage to talk about his new movie Disclosure Day, hitting theaters June 12th. Spielberg went on to reveal that he was inspired to return to the sci-fi genre in 2017 when he read about a fighter pilot who had spotted an unidentified flying object. This movie is going to answer questions, but also is going to ask a lot of questions. He also noted that we cannot give away the third act in the trailers. Preach.
Yeah. That should just be like an industry standard. Like, why is that a thing? The sad part is that's a thing you have to say. Why? That should just be understood.
Movie 101. Don't give away the movie ending in the trailer.
Don't be a dumbass. Trust your movie.
It's just your movie. I'm just saying, Sony, take notes. You're also guilty of this, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wow, Matt. Sorry, guys. Matt he's feeling some
came
kind
out
of
of
way
passion.
today. Yeah, it's like
Came out of
tell
passion.
us how you really feel, Matthew.
I'm just saying, hold yourself accountable. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. Spielberg also commended NBC Universal head Donna Langley for her commitment to a 45-day theatrical window, but urged her to go further with a 60-day or even 120-day window. And he also noted to say, if all we make is known branded IP, we're going to run out of ideas. There is nothing more important than telling original stories. We have to keep telling stories that people cannot imagine until they see it in a movie theater. Spoken like a true professional. He is the quintessential Hollywood movie director that has given us classics time and time again.
But guess what? He's fucking right. Like,
yes.
More than anything, he's right. Like, I mean, there's no. I mean, that's it. Period.
That's it.
I mean,
That's it.
he's
He is,
right.
period.
He's fucking right. Like
He fucking did a mic drop. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, motherfucker, tell original stories. Use your brain.
But I think
Give us movies.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I think it's like this fear of going away from, because going on a known IP, that's like, like there's some level of certainty that it's going to, whether even the movie is good or
Right.
bad, that it's going to do well because you already have a base level fan base. If it's trash, well, at least we get the people who are dedicated to it, who will go see it no matter what. But you see something like Disclosure Day, and it's like the trailer. See, that's a movie that made me want to watch the trailer because it literally gives, you get a little bit, but you get enough to get you in the seat, and that's it needs that mystery, and it like him saying, "Trust me, we're not." It's like, but what if we put this in the trailer? That'll get people to see it. Fuck them. They will come later. Like, don't worry about them. Get the people who need just enough to go see it, and they'll tell their friends to go see it, and that'll be that's what that continued experience will be.
And this is coming from, like, again, this is a guy who has made his career off of telling original stories.
Yes.
Like, he knows what he's talking about. Like,
Yeah.
Granted, Jurassic Park was not original stories based off a book. However, E.T., Indiana Jones, like,
Yeah,
come on.
He's got others. I mean, Matt, he can do a lot of other shit. Like,
Yes, he can. Yes, he has. But like, he's known for adapting. He's known for original storytelling. Like, even in the sci-fi genre with E.T. and AI and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, like creating the original blockbuster with Jaws. Like, he has a point because, granted, he became a household name by creating those original stories and becoming those classics. So if you have a good idea, I think this is more of a message for the movie studios. Take chances on original filmmakers.
Especially now. I mean, given like all the mergers and like just how
Yeah.
condensed the landscape is now, I think this message now is more important than it's ever been.
Yeah. And I think we have people like Zach Krager and Ryan Coogler who are kind of taking that mantle to give us these original stories.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're paying dividends.
Yeah.
Like, you
Look at
kidding me?
Sinners.
Weapons and Sinners are the two of the biggest movies that came out last year. Not even box office wise. We're talking people are very familiar with those movies. So much so that, you know, Ryan Coogler's moved on to the next one, but Kreger is now making that into a franchise in a year. Like, Weapons came out, Amy Madigan won an Oscar, and now they're making a prequel to that movie. That's how like franchises are made.
Yeah.
We got to give us the baseline first. And so I think movie studios need to take more chances on original storytelling. Not everyone's going to work. We get it. But at least take a chance, because I will support any original idea that looks interesting.
Preach it to the choir, brother.
Seriously. Moving on to another GOAT in filmmaking, Christopher Nolan then took the stage to talk about his highly anticipated new movie, The Odyssey, which hits theaters July 17th. Nolan explained that he wanted to adapt Homer's epic poem because the story has fascinated audiences over 3,000 years. It's not a story, it's the story. Ever since he first experienced IMAX as a kid at science museums, he wanted to tell a large-scale epic story in the format. And to that end, he approached IMAX about shooting this film, and that prompted them to develop new tech to make it possible. This is the first film ever to be shot entirely with IMAX cameras, utilizing both 70 millimeter and 30 millimeter film to do so. Talk about a filmmaker who's continuously pushing the boundaries when it comes to telling stories.
But I think he understands the technology, and he's an innovator in that sense because he understands it and he has a vision that he wants to achieve. He can do these type of things where they will develop new tech for his ideas because they'll know that he's going to bring it. And he does. Yeah. Every fucking movie he does. So
every single
the
one.
use of practical effects, like just how the purposefulness of how he shoots everything. Like The Odyssey is gonna be obviously gonna be an Oscar contender next year. This is gonna be one of the big ones for next year. So I can't wait to see what's gonna come of this.
And also, I mean, that photo down there, the two of them together, the goats, just having dinner.
Exactly.
Moving on to a movie that actually looks interesting. Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro presented to the first trailer for Focker-in-Law, which brings back the original cast with the addition of Ariana Grande and Skylar Gisondo. He played Jimmy Olsen in the new Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
That movie opens in theaters this Thanksgiving. I saw the trailer. It looks like a lot of fun.
I did not watch the trailer, but I have a feeling it's going to be good. I'm sure it's going to be good.
I know a lot of people love Ariana Grande. I like her as an actress.
She's funny.
She's funny.
Yeah.
Like her work on SNL and like some of her interviews, especially during the Wicked circuit and Wicked, it's her performance in that movie herself. Like, I thought it was a really interesting move for her to go back and like do a comedy like this, because this feels very much out of her wheelhouse. But if you know her from SNL and you've seen her work there, she's very much really good at the comedic work.
I do think it's a great pivot after something as big and grand as Wicked, like as this musical. Like I think this is a good pivot for her to kind of do something different.
Yeah, and again, if you watch the trailer, it looks like a fun time.
Okay, all right.
Like I remember watching. It was Meet the Parents. Was it Meet the Fockers?
Meet the Parents,
and then it was. I forgot what the third movie was called. Or Little Fockers. Yeah, it was Fockers. Meet the Parents. Meet the Parents. Meet the Fockers, and then Little Fockers. The third movie was not that great. The first two were good.
Yeah.
The third one not so much. I feel like we're coming back. This was a good one because
back to
now
like the original, like a more, because I felt like the third one was like not necessarily a kid's movie, but kind of maybe like not to the extent of what the first one was.
Yeah, it definitely follows. So Skylar Gisondo, he plays Ben Stiller's son, who is getting married to Ariana Grande. And so now Ariana Grande is playing the Ben Stiller role in Meet the Parents, where they're now going to be like on her about like, are you worthy of marrying like my son? And Robert De Niro's doing the whole bit. and Robert De Niro actually really likes her. It's Ben Stiller who's the one that does not like her.
Because Ben Stiller is now in Robert De Niro's role as he was in that movie. So
Right.
and that'll be an interesting flip because that's like of course like a big part of the story where like he feels like this is probably like his right, and maybe now the deal will be between him and Robert De Niro, where De Niro's like, calm down, she's fine. It's like, bitch, what about all this shit you put me through? Like, like to me, that's when you tell me that's the vibe I get. That's maybe what's gonna happen, and maybe you get a little bit of that in the trailer.
Yeah, and that's comedy.
Yeah,
and
that's comedy.
That's comedic. That's comedy.
That's gonna be fun.
And lastly, from Universal Pictures, Snoop Dogg announced that a biopic on his life is in the works for 2027. Craig Brewer, who is responsible for directing Song Sung Blue, Hustle and Flow, and Coming to America, the second one, will direct the film with Outer Banks star Jonathan Davies playing Snoop. So,
okay, that's probably going to be good. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I think Craig Brewer is a great director. Obviously, we talked highly about Song Sung Blue, so I'm interested in this. This could be good.
My only question is like, is it gonna focus on the entire span of his career? Are we gonna see what they've been doing recently, where they don't give you like a full overview, but they give you like a very pivotal point, and then the end is like here, and then he went on to do this, and then he went on to do that. But this part of his life is kind of defined who he is. Or are we gonna see how he went from being a gangster to hosting the Olympics? What's the path? Like, what's the time? Like, what's the path on that?
Where's the stopping point on this particular story? And will we see Snoop Dogg hosting the Olympics at the end of this movie?
Yeah. Are we going to see him cooking with Martha Stewart? Is my question.
These are all valid questions. All valid questions.
All right. So now let's move on to day 4 with Paramount Pictures. Top Gun 3 is officially in development with Tom Cruise returning, as well as producer Jerry Bruckheimer. Aaron Kruger, Top Gun Maverick and F1 the movie, returns to write the screenplay. No further details on director, cast, or release date, which is kind of interesting. I would hope, maybe Joseph Krasinski would come back, but it doesn't seem like that's not happening or it's not solidified just yet. But I'm here for it. I'm here for whatever this crazy ass guy is going to make these people do. I mean, the last one, he like made them actually go through fighter jet training, if I remember correctly. So he's good. There's going to be some crazy shit that's going to be attached that he's going to make people do, and he's going to do himself. So
I will say
look forward for that.
Maverick's going to be a hard one to top. I'll put it that way.
But a large part of that, and I think that, which I think now is after we've seen F1 and Top Gun Maverick, that a lot of that has to do with Joseph Krasinski. So like what? So if that's fine, they're gonna come back. But then are we gonna get the same epicness that we got with the last movie? Because he did he did an incredible job with that film.
100%.
So, but a lot of that is tied to him. Tom Cruise is fine, but I think the real question is who's gonna direct. That's kind of like as excited as I am just wary to see who's gonna lead this ship. So
we have an asterisk on Top Gun 3 at the moment.
Correct. So moving on, director Gina Price Blythewood, who directed The Woman King, and stars Chiwetel Ejiofor, Damon Idris, Amaya Steinberg, and Thus Mbedu previewed their upcoming popular book series. The story follows a woman blessed with magical powers by gods and living in a place where you are forbidden to use them. Teams with a princess to summon the gods and bring down the oppressive regime. It hits theater. Is the name of this movie The Woman King?
No, the name of this movie is The Children of Blood and Bone.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. They previewed the upcoming fantasy adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone. So yes, it hits theater January 15, 2027. Johnny Knoxville debuts trailer for the final Jackass movie titled Jackass Best and Last, slated in theaters June 26.
Yeah, that was fast typing. Slated to open. I think it was
slated to open. Sorry, no, I'm just very curious that they're still making Jackass movies. I mean, I think that's more. He's old. Like he's
Yes.
getting up there. Like I don't know how much more your body can physically handle between Jackass
Well, they
the
said
show,
best and last.
the first movie, the second movie, and then he did that other movie. Bad Grandpa, which is pretty.
Yes.
That movie's pretty funny. Very similar premise to like recording live action of crazy shit that's gonna happen and like tying it into, and then he tied it into a movie. So I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to destroy themselves this time around.
And you know, every one of these movies have been put into theaters, and it has done almost extremely well. So it's interesting that type of like movie is still demanding a theatrical
Well,
experience.
and it's something different. That's something different
Yeah.
to see in the theaters as opposed to
Very true.
like just these narratives that we put out. This is like, oh, let's go fuck around. Like, let's just go have fun watching the Jackass movie. Like, that's probably like that's not a quiet experience in the theaters. I'm assuming. That's a loud raucous theater. So that's a good time. I could totally see that.
And I watched the last one when it hit Paramount Plus. It still hits.
Yeah?
It's still funny.
And that's what it is. I mean, it hit. It does hit. So I guess
yeah.
it does do that. All right. So the upcoming Call of Duty film from Peter Berg and Taylor Sheridan has been given a release date of June 30th, 2028. I'm very excited for whatever's going to come of that. I love both of those creators, so I'm really looking forward to that. Not announced at CinemaCon, but related to Paramount, directing his first animated feature, an original idea titled The Naughty List, a funny, irreverent, and surprising Christmas tale for the whole family from Paramount Animation. This is going to be from director Robert Rodriguez. So I'm really that looks good. I don't know has he done anything animated before?
No, that'll be his first ever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first ever. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely sparked my interest for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on to John Krasinski, writer and director of A Quiet Place Part 1 and 2, and returning to write and direct Quiet Place Part 3, announces on social media its full cast and new release date. Jack O'Connell from Sinners, Jason Clarke from House of Dynamite, and Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding will join returning stars Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Millicent Simmons, and Noah Jupe for the upcoming horror threequel. Krasinski captioned, "So proud to be a part of this A Quiet Place family, old and new. Here we go." Followed by revealing its new release date of July 30th, 2027. It's also worth noting that Krasinski set the post to Hamilton's song One Last Time, suggesting this marks the final chapter in the story, which I think is fine. That needs to happen. But that doesn't mean we couldn't get other stories like A Quiet Place Day 1.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I think making this a trilogy makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And there were concerns, at least for me anyway, that he wasn't coming back to direct the third movie, which I feel like it was a little bit sad news. But looks like that's we're squashing that. Looks like he's coming back. So I think as a movie like this, he is one of the main reasons why I come back and watch this movie. So the fact that he's coming in to kind of close that chapter, that's good news to hear.
Without a doubt, 100%. So excited for see when that's going to come back in theaters next year.
All right, let's lastly to kind of wrapping all the CinemaCon news, let's move over to Walt Disney Studios, and this is also in conjunction with Star Wars and Marvel Studios as well. So the big news that came out of this was Haley Steinfeld and Rashida Jones were announced as stars of Disney's upcoming animated feature called Hexed, which is about a teenage girl who discovers witchy secrets about her family, and it hits theaters November 25th, 2026. Great voice cast. I think this is a good lineup. We also see here, if you're watching us on YouTube and Spotify, they also kind of showed us the first kind of images, what the characters look like as well. And so, yeah, this right in line with Disney Animation coming out with a Thanksgiving release. So looking forward to it. I'm down for an original story from Disney Animation. Those always come out to be some of their best work.
Yeah.
More often than not. But now new footage was shown for The Mandalorian and Grogu, the live action Moana, Toy Story 5, and we also got our first trailer for Avengers Doomsday. They also posted showcased the release slate of all of their upcoming movies. And so as you can see here, like the it's definitely I would say a wide release of a variety of films coming from the Disney Corporation. Mandalorian Grogu coming out in May. Devil Wears Prada 2 is kicking off the summer season this year. We also have Toy Story 5 and live action Moana. We also, which I didn't know was coming out, Super Troopers 3 that has an August release date.
From Disney,
And then
Super Troopers.
Disney.
Isn't that fucking crazy? Disney is releasing Super Troopers. Like, what a world. What a world we live in.
We also have other movies coming out of either Searchlight or either Searchlight or 20th Century Studios. We have The Dog Stars coming out in August, The Whale Fall in October, and the Wild Horse 9 in November. I think that one's coming from Searchlight. The other two might be from 20th Century Studios. As we mentioned, we got Hex coming out in this Thanksgiving. And then 2 animated movies that are coming out next year is Ice Age Boiling Point in February 2027 and Pixar's Gato, which we talked about in a previous episode, for March 5th, 2027. But the big one to come out of this particular presentation is, of course, Avengers Doomsday. Disney confirmed that the trailer, Disney confirmed in the trailer that Avengers Doomsday will be releasing in theaters December 18th, 2026. They even doubled down on this release date by announcing and introducing a new premium format initiative that's called Infinity Vision. That's basically meant to signify the audience which auditoriums offer the biggest, the brightest, and most immersive cinematic experience.
Dumb. Sorry.
All right.
Continue.
We're gonna give the initial. We're gonna talk about the initial announcement of this, and then we're gonna talk about this. The official announcement. In the official announcement, it reads Infinity Vision, a new certification. Certification.
Here's your sticker. Sorry.
Infinity Vision. Okay. Infinity Vision, a new certification for premium large format theaters designed to signify to audience the biggest, brightest, and most immersive cinematic experiences. Infinity Vision sets a new benchmark for theatrical presentation, certifying auditoriums that meet rigorous technical standards, including a focus on the largest screen for maximum scale, laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, as well as premium audio formats for fully immersive sound. What the fuck, Disney?
So, listen, we couldn't get the IMAX. So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna tell you here. This theater is where you get in. This is the one. You can't see it in the best one in IMAX, but you can see it in the other one. Look, this one's got the sticker. That's basically what this is. Are they hiring up? So my question is, are they just saying which one have the premium formats, and if they meet a certain standard, then here you get this sticker? Or are they sending somebody out and going, all right, this theater is a no, this one's a yes. Like, nah, this one sucks. Like what the fuck does that mean? That just means the premium ones like RPX and Dolby, they automatically get the Infinity Vision sticker. So hey, you're in the premium format. You got the good one here.
This is one of the dumbest things I have ever heard.
Yeah.
All because of the pettiness that they have for not having the opportunity to release Avengers Doomsday in IMAX, because Disney, Marvel, probably Disney, more Disney than Marvel, decided to stay true to this release date that you decided to stick with when Dune Part 3 already had that release date.
And
like,
then
you have the power, Disney, to change the release date. You can do that.
Nope.
We also if you listened to us last week, we suggested to just move up yourself a week to potentially have an IMAX screen for opening weekend.
But it's like, in Mean Girls are like, stop trying to make fetch happen. This is like, stop trying to make Doomsday happen. Like, stop it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't need to artificially recreate Barbenheimer. Like, that just happened like that. Like, I'm sure somebody was like, oh, it'd be cool if they came out at the same weekend and they kind of like they go up against each other. But this seems forced.
What I don't even think they're trying to pursue Doomsday. To me, this sounds like the studio, Disney, really wanting that release date, and they're going to do everything in their power to not move from it. And they're willing to sacrifice their movie not premiering in IMAX as a result of it.
Which
so then
is
they
dumb.
come out with this stupid certification that they come out with Infinity Vision, which means nothing, by the way. This is a useless certification that will only be here for this movie. Like
Every Marvel movie moving forward will have will certify Infinity Vision.
When I first read this, I had to read it twice because I thought what I first read was that they're creating movie theaters that meet up to their standards. And then I had to reread this and like, no, we're not giving the theaters any more money to give us an elevated standard. We're not recreating a premium format for you to watch our movies and others. All we are doing is letting you know our Avengers Doomsday stamp of approval premium format because we can't premiere our movies in IMAX. That is petty.
Yeah.
That is petty.
Or them trying to say that this is their also way of saying like, hey, we don't give a fuck about IMAX. Like that's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, we actually don't care about IMAX. We just want you to see it in the best format. There's so many others. You can see it in RPX. You can see it in Dolby. You can see it in 40X.
Right.
Like we don't need IMAX.
It's almost like they're mad at IMAX for not allowing them to premiere their movie in that format. But IMAX didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. They've already made a deal with Warner Brothers and Dune and Denis Villeneuve to release this movie. Also, Denis is also probably using IMAX cameras to do a lot of this shit.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week, but he is like parts of his movie were shot exclusively in IMAX. So there is a specific reason why it has this window, why it meets these standards. Like whatever, it's dumb. Yeah, but we'll see.
It's extremely dumb. And they also slated that beginning with the September 25th re-release of Marvel Studios Avengers Endgame, that's when we're going to start seeing this Infinity Vision stamp of approval when they re-release Endgame into theaters. And then it's going to be followed by Avengers Doomsday on December 18th. I don't think there's any change that's going to happen between September and December of which movies receive the stamp of approval. Audiences will be able to seek out Infinity Vision certified screens and we'll see the film on the grandest possible scale. This is dumb. Yeah. This is probably one of the biggest, pettiest things I've seen Disney do in a long time. Of like, hey, we have this sticker. We want you to look at it and
see a movie.
and not to say that like you didn't need to do this, like this Infinity Vision, because your movie's already going to make money. Like there's a probably a really, really good chance that your movie is going to be the superior movie of the box office, not the superior movie in general.
Yeah.
But like you're definitely going to make more money than Dune Part 3. There's no question about it. There are more people who want to see Doomsday than Dune Part 3. People will see both. But you obviously have a larger following in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
So what is this for? Like what are you doing?
Why?
Why? Exactly. I don't know. All right. So that's wrapping up our CinemaCon coverage. Marvel really knew how to end with a bang. But also, just very quickly, they kind of also released kind of like the first image, of high quality, that is, of what Doomsday is going to look like in Avengers Doomsday. And he looks awesome.
Yeah, he looks great. They're very, very comic book accurate costume. So it looks
100%.
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving Disney shit for this Infinity Vision. That has no way, shape, and form desensitizing my excitement for Avengers Doomsday.
Yes, I know.
And I'm very, very jealous that I can't find the trailer online. I will be out there. I tried to look for it. I couldn't find it. So people in that theater were very, very like, oh, we're not going to ruin this for ourselves. We're putting this phone down. And good for them. Enjoy that moment. But now I'm patiently waiting for Marvel to release this trailer because I've read what the trailer was and I want to put my eyes on it. It sounds awesome. So I couldn't help myself. I had to read what it was.
We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it eventually. It's coming.
Yes. A lot of people are suggesting that it's probably going to be attached to the Mandalorian Grogu
Probably.
movie. Like that's the next biggest movie to come out from Disney, and they released the movies, the first trailers for Avengers Doomsday ahead of Avatar Fire and Ash. So this makes a lot of sense that Mandalorian Grogu, it's a summer release. They're going to premiere, the trailer in the theaters for that. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. It looks. I mean, it's. We'll see. And apparently, my question is this: when they re-release Endgame, there's supposed to be like new footage and shit that's going to connect the two movies together. So is this going to be like, hey, this is what the direct link is, so that you don't have to care about anything? Because look, all this other shit that doesn't. It kind of matters, but it doesn't really matter. So here's what actually you need to know connecting to this next movie.
Yeah, I do have a problem with that. You're absolutely right. The Russo brothers said that with this re-release, we're adding new footage to connect the Doomsday. All that tells me is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has failed to do that within the other movies, like they have been for the first like 3 phases of the MCU. In the Infinity Saga, you perfectly align that with it leading up to Infinity War and Endgame. And so you're telling me that because you had to do many pivots, that you failed to do that with your slate 4, 5, and your phases of 4, 5, and 6. You just didn't
crazy. Like,
so
that's
now,
wild.
Now you're having to basically re-edit your movie and add new footage that you probably filmed during Doomsday to add into this movie that already exists to then now give us the connection that we were looking for. And damn it, I'm gonna be going to the theater for this re-release to see it. I'm a Marvel guy.
I have to,
and
see
now
it
I want to
just for
see
that.
it. Yeah, I will sit down in the theater for 3 hours again to see new footage. I am a sucker for it. However, it's just sad that you have to do that instead of establishing it into the movies that you've been coming out with for the last, at this point, 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and the last thing we're going to talk about, though, Netflix did not attend CinemaCon for obvious reasons because they don't release a lot of their movies in theaters. They didn't want to be left out of the big week's worth of announcements. So they took to social media to give us our first look at their new animated movie, Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory. Set years after the Golden Ticket contest, Willy Wonka returns to the factory after spending years behind bars.
It's wild. It's just rough.
He wanted to add a little sweetness to a bitter world, but one thing stands in his way. Teenager Charlie Palais, and his rotten friends. The film be written by and star Taika Waititi as Willy Wonka and Kit Connor as Charlie. Interesting.
Yeah.
A very interesting story within the Willy Wonka universe. And the fact that he went to prison.
Yeah,
that's
like,
kind of big.
It's like, I don't remember that.
What kind of story are you telling here?
Hey, whoa, what's happening?
Last time I saw, I mean, if you think about it, he did a lot of things to those kids.
Yeah, you hurt them. They are not the same.
They're not the same when you come out, and this is not in that kind of way. Not the way that it kind of seems that way, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's not that kind of way.
He made that girl a blueberry.
You watch the movie, you find out. All right,
yeah,
that's all I'm saying. And apparently, you go to prison for making girls into blueberries. I don't know how that works. Some guy was flying in the air. I don't know. I'm gonna get put in trouble.
He shrunk a kid. I mean, what do you?
He shrunk a kid. Look at the Johnny Depp movie. He did it.
It's weird. It happened.
It's weird.
Who knows? But that's like, there's so many iterations of Wonka now. It's like, well, I mean, is this like Timothy Chalamet? Is this Gene Wilder?
Right.
Is this Johnny Depp? Is this from the book? Like, where are you sourcing? There's so many iterations of Willy Wonka that we have to ask the question.
That's so true. Very quickly, speaking of Kit Connor, he just got cast as the lead in the new Elden Ring movie from Alex Garland and A24. That was actually announced today at the time of reporting. They also released a full slate of cast members. And Kaylee Spaney is also a part of that list as well.
Ooh, well, that's going to be worth watching.
Worth watching indeed. But there you go. That's a lot of news. CinemaCon gave us a lot to talk about, and we put it here. So if you want more entertainment news, You can follow us on our social media channels on Facebook at Box Office Bingers and our threads and Instagram page at boxoffice_bingers. We post mainly, for the most part, all the news over there first, and then we'll come back in the show and we'll talk about it. All right, now let's move on to our spoiler review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And for that review, we're going to also be joined this time by Nick Rivera. Welcome back to the show, Nick. It's been a hot minute since we've had you on. How you doing?
Yeah, good. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're great, man.
Good.
We're glad to have you back.
Great.
I think the last time we had you on was Frozen Empire, and I think before that was the Super Mario movie, the first one.
Probably, yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, welcome back, sir. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, glad to be here. Love hanging out with you guys.
It's crazy. It's been just about 2 years since we talked about Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. So, a lot of movie has happened since then.
Yeah.
and then also within that time, it took 3 years to come out with another Mario movie, which is kind of impressive, I guess. So the movie stars again Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, and then we have some newcomers of Benny Safdie, Brie Larson, and Donald Glover. Directed by Aaron Aaron
Horvath.
There you go. I should have practiced that name before we started recording. And Michael Jelinek. There you go. Who was responsible for the first Super Mario movie. And then written by Matthew Fogel. Who
I think you
wrote
said it right.
Fogel? Yeah, I think I said it right. Who wrote the Super Mario movie, as well as Minions Rise of Gru and the Lego Movie 2, the second part. So Nick, we'll start with you. Since you are our Nintendo aficionado here, what do you think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
It was a lot of fun. A lot of things happened. We got a sneak peek at a new character in the Mario universe, Fox McCloud.
Yes.
This is spoiler. I can say this, right?
Yeah, this is a full
spoilers.
spoiler.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Full spoilers.
Yeah, we got to see Fox McCloud, and there is a rumor that there's going to be a Star Fox movie.
Isn't there also? I thought there was a rumor about a game for him coming out soon too. Right? Both. Right?
Both. Yeah. So there's going to be a game at some point and a movie. So that's super exciting. Much like the first movie, this didn't really follow a specific storyline, for from the Mario universe. But it was fun.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because if I remember correctly, I wasn't a huge fan of the first movie, and then 3 years later, since I just rewatched it not too long ago, and I was like, you know what, this first movie, 3 years removed from it, was a lot more fun than I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think maybe because it's again, I'm 3 years removed about it, I just let my guard down a little bit. I wasn't thinking too hard of what this movie should be. And I was just kind of just letting in, enjoying it. And I was like, wow, you know what? This movie is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. And the second one was below that, in my opinion. It was fun. I think it does a lot of the same that the first movie does, just not as good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they tried to shoehorn a lot of things into this movie.
And what's funny, because the first movie did that, but upon rewatching, it's like, oh, well, okay, it's a lot going on in this movie, but it somehow just kind of pieced it together. Whereas this movie had a lot going on, and I just feel like a lot of the cameos and the payoffs didn't really amount to anything. The goal was not as clear as the first movie. Ernesto, your thoughts on Super Mario Galaxy movie?
Well, just kind of jump into the first one. I actually think the first one, I actually really like the first one. I felt like it had more, just in comparison, I felt like it had more of a cohesive story, because you go from Mario not knowing about it, and then him coming into this other world, and then we end back at his world, and it kind of merged together. So I felt like there was a little bit more a cohesiveness when it comes to the first one. This one, I felt like it was fun, but like we kind of just jump from situation. It's definitely meant for like a really young audience, which is fine because that's their target audience is young children. So there's like no real, like when things happen, like there's no setup building into it. Like we just go into Peach's party and then we just kind of go in that he has this crush on Peach, but even it's brought up throughout the movie, but it's never like we don't ever come back to that. Like we focus on that like maybe 2 or 3 times in the movie, and then we don't. But maybe that probably set up for whatever the next one in. Which I wish they would have done is when we get Peaches and Rosalina's backstory. I actually wish if the movie would have hit harder for me if we had started with that, so that when Rosalina is captured in the very beginning, you already have the context of why Peach is so important to her and why it's so important, that she finds her. So that when, and then when Peach is talking to Mario about not knowing who she was, like us as an audience already have that context of, oh, well, she just needs to meet Rosalina. So like kind of feeding into the adventure that she needed to take anyway. I felt like for me, it would have been a stronger change if they had made that one editing flip, like put that backstory in the beginning where she's reading the story, like maybe, or even in the beginning when she's about to read the story to her stars. I guess I don't really know. Like, what are those? Are those?
Oh,
those are like
the
her kids?
Lumas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen them in the game.
She's kind of Rosalina's in charge of all the Lumas.
in charge or the mother of, because she kept calling them her children.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Ernesto, Rosalina did try to tell that story in the beginning, but the Lumas, they were like, nah, shut up about this story. I want to hear about the plumbers.
We want to hear about the plumbers.
We want
Yeah.
to hear about the plumbers.
They were really cute.
specifically.
I enjoyed them. I thought they were really cute. We had like, especially in the end when they were kind of like helping Fox out, and you had like a little selection of them become like the Star Fox squad, and they had the jackets. I thought that was. I mean, it was cool. I did like all the Bowser Jr. stuff. I felt like if we had gotten a little, but this is just like me wanting more than what they gave me, because I would have loved a little bit more of backstory on Bowser Jr. and Bowser, kind of, instead of it just kind of it was just kind of thrown on you, like. But I get it. One of my favorite parts of the movie is in the end is when we're in the Bowser Jr. scroll dungeon, when he's like, when they're going through the maze, but you're looking at him in the 2D screen. I thought that was just really fun. I thought it was a really fun little add to the movie. But overall it's fine. I just wanted more cohesiveness. Like, Yoshi didn't need to be voiced by Donald Glover. You could have been voiced by literally anyone, or AI, or you know what I mean? Like,
it's true. Like he could have been anybody. But I can tell you that, like, when they dropped that piece of information, I like freaked out. I screamed. I was like, "Why Donald Glover?" I love Donald Glover. I love Childish Gambino, and I was like, "Holy!" It was crazy.
But so what's interesting about that? I think Donald Glover said he wanted to voice Yoshi.
Yeah, he
campaigned for that.
Yeah, he saw the movie with his kids, and then got on the phone with his agent and was like, I need to be Yoshi. I need to get in here.
So, like, maybe the studio wasn't pining over Donald Glover to be Yoshi, but Donald Glover was pining over the studio to make sure that he was Yoshi. So,
yeah. I
mean, I wouldn't really blame anybody but Donald Glover. That's all I'm saying. Like, and the studio decided to pay him. Probably not as much as everybody else, but because he didn't really have a lot of speaking roles. And
yeah, because he even said that he only just kind of says his name.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a Pokemon.
But that's
pretty much.
That's funny. But that's what I think is interesting, is that they chose to keep him closer to the, like, what a classic Yoshi would be. But then you got Chris Pratt and Charlie Day just doing their voice. Like,
yeah.
Like, you did what you did for one, you didn't do for the other. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to go all the way, go all the way.
Well, if we're going to go back, like, to the show, the cartoon in like the early 90s, Yoshi was like a speaking character.
Yes.
Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Mario was like an actual Italian man. Right?
Yeah. Well, this was so in the original the Super Mario Super Show, which was the first one. Captain Lou Albano was Mario, and he was like a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
But then like later on, there was like another iteration of the Super Mario cartoon, and it had Yoshi in it, and Yoshi was like a speaking, character.
Nick, how do you feel like Yoshi was at least treated in the movie? Because go ahead. I'll have you start.
Oh, it could have been a little bit more. There could have been a little bit more Yoshi. I feel like he was just kind of there, and then kind of like the butt of that joke of between him and Toad, where it was just like, oh, who's this guy?
Right. Yeah. To me, I just found it really interesting that, like, obviously it was a cliffhanger. It was the what's it called, the post-credit scene in the first movie, and I don't know. I think because maybe it's just me, because it was the post-credit scene, I expected it to be a much bigger deal. If that's what you're teasing for the next movie, it's Yoshi. And I mean, it's just interesting that he ended up becoming a pet. Like, it was like the start of the movie, and then they're like, how did you get here? And then it almost like they had to write a way to get him out of Mario's world, because Mario and Luigi are no longer living in their original universe, I guess.
They're not living in Brooklyn anymore. They're like in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Right. So because that they're living in the Mushroom Kingdom, and they teased that Yoshi's egg was in Brooklyn, they had to find a way to get Yoshi back to the Mushroom Kingdom. And then we have like this really quick montage where he's just roaming the streets, and then he knocks down a dinosaur skeleton museum, and then immediately runs back, and then he's back in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then that was it. To me, it just felt really unnecessary. And so I'm just curious, I never really played the games with Yoshi in it. So I'm just curious of, like, does it have any ties to the game at all, of his characteristics, or is
in the games, that's all. Yoshi is the guy you get on and to go faster. He's your car, essentially, Yeah, he's a horse, essentially.
That I guess can also, lick attack things and eggs. But yeah, I just found that really interesting that like that resolution was just very quick, and then we just, to Ernesto's point, just moved on to Peach's birthday party. The first scene in the movie was with Rosalina, and then her getting captured by Bowser Jr., and then moves on to the introduction of Yoshi, and then moves on to Peach's. I mean, eventually the opening scene carried weight for the rest of the movie, but that one scene with Yoshi, it didn't really, like, we just need to get Yoshi into the story, and then all of a sudden they're best friends. Like, I feel like there'll just be a little bit more than that. It just happened, as Ernesto was kind of pointing out. But also, now going back to Rosalina, what's her deal and the relationship with Peaches? Was there this new made up story that they're sisters that were separated, or is that just or is that in the game somehow?
I don't remember what their relationship is in the game universe, but I want to say that they are connected in some way.
Okay. And then that translated over to, well, I have my other issues with Rosalina, because I feel like that as another character that was introduced in the movie that didn't really have much to do. She was a captured princess, as I guess any game would be. Like, they showed that she had the strength, she had the power, but we had to, and then the same for Peaches. But at least Peaches, they gave her a lot more story in the first movie. Whereas opposed to Peaches in this movie, obviously she was looking for somebody she did not know was her sister, but like forces. But yeah, I'm just curious if that had any, or that was just made up for the movie.
I think it was made up for the movie.
I just looked it up. All right, so I got it. I did. Let's see. So in the game, Super Mario Galaxy and sequels, no confirmed familial relationship. Rosalina and Peach are allies, friends at most, with no blood tie, sisterhood, or shared origin stated in canon. Rosalina is the mysterious mother of the stars, guardian of the Comet Observatory, and adoptive mother to the Lumas. She has her own tragic backstory. As a child, she lost her mother, befriended a Luma, and eventually became the eternal watcher of the cosmos, with hints of a time loop universe rebirth cycle. Peach appears as a classic damsel, kidnapped by Bowser early on. Rosalina helps Mario by providing the observatory, power stars, and transports. She refers to Peach warmly as Mario's special one, but they never share direct scenes or deep conversation in the main games. In the spin-off manga, Super Mario Kun, they meet and get along as positive friends. Let's see. Development note, early in Galaxy's development, Nintendo, including Miyamoto and director Yoshiaki Koizumi, I'm sure I messed that up, discussed making Rosalina related to Peach, possibly sisters or connected via space, family themes. This was scrapped for the final game, but subtle design similarities, blonde hair, crown, dress style, and one ambiguous storybook image, a mother figure resembling Peach, fueled fan theories for over 20 years.
Wow. So I guess they just committed to something that fans already thought was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was fine. I think it worked. But then how does Daisy fit into that? That's my question.
Yeah.
That's
Who is
that's
Daisy?
another. Daisy's just a princess in another castle. Like,
I think so.
Wait, that's not a real character?
Daisy is a real character, but
Yes.
like she's not like in the lore. She's just, in what was it, Super Mario, the Game Boy Super Mario, she was like, oh, I'm not the princess you're looking for. Your princess is in another castle. Like, that's where Daisy came from, essentially.
Oh,
Let's
you
see.
see that there it is again. I'm thinking that she's a big deal, and I was like, who's this
I mean,
princess?
but she shows up in all of the like the Mario parties, the Mario sports games. Like, she's
in Super Smash.
she's supposed to be like allegedly like Luigi's like
like Luigi's
love
girl.
interest.
I got it. So Daisy's lore in the game, Daisy rules Sarasaland, inclooning
Saharashala.
Yeah,
is
thank
what it is. That's from the Game Boy.
Yeah, from Super Mario Land on Game Boy. She's portrayed as a fun, tomboyish, sporty princess, often paired romantically with Luigi in spin-offs like Mario Tennis, Mario Kart, and Mario Party. Loose connection to Peach at best. Kindred spirits, a friendly fellow princess. So we'll see what she might be another long lost sister. That might be a storyline that they explore.
Well, so what's interesting about that whole angle now is they said that there was a mysterious, like the mysterious evil forces. Like, okay, when they were talking about the origins of like Rosalina and Peaches, Rosalina had to push Peaches away for safety because of evil forces that were coming to get her. But they never explained what those evil forces were. And I just found that really frustrating that, yeah, in the first movie, they established that Peaches got to the Mushroom Kingdom. We don't know how. And now you're giving us some backstory of how she got there, but we still don't know how she got we know how she got there, but now there's another piece to the puzzle that they've introduced, but failed to talk about. And I just feel like if you're going to do it, why hold on? Why this particular story is going to span over 3 movies? This particular mystery. I just don't understand that. It's like, it's not.
I think you're right though. Because the first movie, when they're in the field, she has like a moment where she talks about not knowing her past. And then this movie, they kind of dive into that. And then the post-credit scene is with Daisy. Oh, I also found a fan theory connected to the that might be subtle hints that they created Daisy. So in the flashback storybook scene where young Rosalina and Peach use their combined powers, they create a life. They specifically a daisy flower with daisies surrounding them. So they could have created her when they did that. It's a fan theory that's out there.
Oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, sure. I mean, I'll buy it if she was also a sister.
Yeah.
If
they're just like 3 sisters, just
connected by the cosmos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. It's interesting how that is a storyline that is spanning over what seemingly to be 3 movies. Not something that I was coming out of the Mario movie, considering that a lot of this Mario movie doesn't feel connected with its own story in a way. Let's move over to Bowser Jr. Nick, what were your thoughts on his character and kind of his relationship and I don't know how that connection is in the games with Bowser himself, but curious your thoughts on that.
I mean, it's a loose connection. So Bowser Jr. is not even from Super Mario Galaxy movie or game. He's from Mario Sunshine. He first shows up in Mario Sunshine, and which is from on the GameCube, so it was years before. He's just kind of a little menace. He's actually my favorite of all the Mario villains.
Yeah, that's what
What
I
was
use
his aim goal?
when I play Super Smash Brothers. He's my main. I love.
Yeah,
using Bowser
I love. Yeah, and he's been my main in Mario Kart World Tour.
Oh yeah.
So what was his purpose in Sunshine then?
He was kind of so a character that does not show up in this movie, which I thought would, as Professor Egad. He created this paintbrush, the paintbrush that he uses. There's an Easter egg where Kamek has a cup in the beginning and it's got Egad's logo on it. But he creates this paintbrush that can like paint anything, and he goes around whatever the beach town is in Super Mario Sunshine and like basically like ruins everything with paint.
And so then as Mario, you're here to fix it?
Yeah. You get the what's it called? Flood machine, and you get to squirt everything and wash away all the paint.
And what's the result of that? He's just point blank, he's being a menace, he's painting everything, no reason.
Yeah, and you gotta fix up his stuff and beat him up.
Matt, have you never played Mario before?
Not really.
Okay, that's a very. I mean, there is a plot, but it's not like a super deep plot. Like it's enough for little kids to play, to get like each level is it's like different challenges, and like to get through the level. Like I don't know what you're. This is not like Arkham Knight. I don't know what you're expecting.
Look. To me, when it comes to like Mario, it's very simple. You know, Bowser stole Peaches. You go. The goal is to get Peaches. I understand that. So I'm just saying, like, as far as this paint thing, I was like, there's got to be more than that. Than just like he made a mess and Mario's here to clean it up. But he's got to stolen a princess somehow. I'm just saying, I don't understand it. It's interesting. It's so funny because I didn't know anything about the paintbrush, and so the first thing I thought of, there's a Disney game called Mickey something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Why can't I think of that game?
Yeah, what is the title? And to me, it just reminded me of that, and I just thought, without knowing what Mario Sunshine was, it almost felt like that was the
Epic Mickey.
Yes,
Epic Mickey.
That is the name. Yep,
yeah.
That's the name.
And so to me, that was the first thing I thought of. But honestly, the paintbrush offered some really cool visuals in this movie. He was able to be really, I guess, in the way, really creative with some of his structures. It is odd that it doesn't really get explained of how he got that, but I guess in some cases it doesn't really need to be. This is like, look, this is Bowser Jr.'s weapons of choice, and we move on from that.
Yeah, I mean, I as someone who knows the lore behind it, it's like it was a little disappointing that we didn't get to see like this other character who could have played in to another Mario movie, because he's also the inventor of the vacuum cleaner that Luigi uses to suck up ghosts in Luigi's Mansion.
Gotcha.
The Poltergeist 3000.
Do you think that maybe that's a possible setup for maybe like the next Mario movie, or maybe introduce him, or do a Luigi Mansion movie and introduce him there?
I would hope that they would do a Luigi's Mansion movie. I think that would be super cool. I think they could either do it for the third movie. They could just be like, well, we're going to make this Luigi's Mansion its own set of movies. They could,
Is there really enough there to make it its own movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Probably it'll be similar. It'll be similar to what the Mario movies are.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're just making up a story, but it just, at that point, to have his own spin-off of like Luigi's Mansion, I don't know if that's, honestly, if that holds weight enough. I don't know enough about the game or the story to make it seem like its own movie. Maybe like a part of a section of another Mario movie, because that it seems like we're going in and like this movie felt like it was a series of shorts that were just kind of put together. So like there's something very similar to the first movie where Mario got separated and he got into like what felt like a super like a Luigi's Mansion-esque place, a very spooky place. And then he got out of that. So I feel like that could be an easy tie-in as far as like having him go on like its own separate adventure. However, I did like how Mario and Luigi were together for the majority of this movie, whereas the first movie they were separated for the entirety of it.
Yeah.
I think that was a better play on this movie, is like, don't do that again. And we actually got to see them kind of interact with each other for more than just the beginning and end of the movie. But yeah, I do think that I feel like we need a little bit more backstory on Bowser Jr. I mean, maybe not. I just again.
I feel like we got. Well, I feel like we got that because he sent him off to school and he gave him he had. I see what you're saying, but I mean, I felt like we got a little bit because then they gave us a backstory of where he was and why he wanted, and then once he got kicked out, and then this was his next adventure after getting kicked out of school.
Which I want to know his resources.
Who paid for this? Who built you this ship? Yeah. Who approved these plans?
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, he got a paintbrush, he got a spaceship, he got his own planet. Not only did he get his own planet, he built all of this stuff from this planet. I don't know if that paintbrush.
It's all in the paint. It's all from the paintbrush. He paints it. He probably paints the coins, and then he uses the painted coins to pay for everything.
He's also evil, so he could have just stolen it.
Also that.
Like, remember, it's a kids movie. The answer is probably simple. He stole it. He's a bad guy.
I think to your point, if they probably would have introduced this inventor character and just plain and simple, he wanted this thing after he left boarding school, and he stole this paintbrush that can literally make him like do anything.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's he did it. And then I think that just a little bit of information enough, I think would have just like, all right, they explained this and now we move on. There's a lot of Easter eggs. I feel like that once Peaches and Toad went on their own little mini adventure, a lot of Easter eggs came out of that.
That's from the whole movie.
Who is
I got the whole list. I got a whole list. I found a list if you want to go over it. And then Nick, you can tell me if I missed any of cameos, nods, and Easter eggs.
Okay, hold on there. Let me go with the ones I remember, and then if anyone I missed, we can go over that.
All right. So, okay.
So let's talk about the Toad. Who's this guy?
The Toad?
Yeah, the gangster looks like he was in a casino.
Oh, you said Toad, and I'm thinking you mean Keegan-Michael Key's character?
Yeah. No, that's so funny. Yes, yeah, that's fair. That is Toad. Yes, you're right.
You're talking about Wart. You're talking about
Isn't he a T-Rex?
No, he's a frog.
The frog gangster guy.
Yeah, you're talking about Luis Guzman's character.
Yes.
Yeah, he was from Mario 2. He was just one of the bad guys in Mario 2.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think
Remember,
allegedly he does show up in a Zelda game, but it's contested on whether or not that's Wart.
I see. Okay. So does it make sense?
But there's a frog character.
Does it make sense that he's the gangster lord of the secret?
Sure. Sure.
The secret place.
Sure, he's a boss. He's a boss in Super Mario 2.
I guess all the villains do villain things. I guess that's the thing there.
I mean, they could have put. You know who would have been a better pick, in my opinion, for that spot?
Wario.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's who we need.
Where's he at? Who is Wario as far as like what's his relation to? Is any relation to Mario at all?
No.
It's
well, so the word "wa" in Japanese is bad, so it's just kind of like a portmanteau of "wa" and Mario. So bad. Essentially, he's bad Mario, and he's eating onions and farting on everything. That's Wario's MO. He's eating onions, farting on everything, and stealing stuff.
I feel like he's a bigger character than. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I honestly don't know.
I mean, he's got his own game.
That's very valid. Because I feel like that when you like some of these characters that I've never heard of before, and they're getting their own cameos and stuff like that. Is Wario big? I mean, if he has his own game, I guess he's big enough.
Yeah, people love Wario. People love Wario and Waluigi. Like they want to see the people want to see Wario and Waluigi in these
100%.
movies.
Do you see that? Do you see that being a possible? Like, I guess who else have they not introduced yet that would make sense to not include first before Wario and Waluigi?
I mean, I would think that they would include Wario and Waluigi before Wart, but you know, here we are.
Yeah. But I feel like that's a natural progression in the next whatever this next phase.
I would hope so. I mean, Charlie Day said he wants Dan Danny DeVito.
I can totally see
That's
that.
perfect casting. Perfect casting.
But then who do
So
you
good.
have? Who do you have be Waluigi?
Who is his counterpart?
You don't know who Waluigi is?
No. I know. I'm sorry. I meant voice.
Oh, okay. Who do we have Waluigi? I mean, you know, it would be fun, and just to get them in the same movie, Jordan Peele. I think Jordan Peele. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He can do any voice. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen him touch comedy since
in a long time.
Yeah. I can see them going back and forth with that. It seems like a no-brainer. It's just really odd that they haven't even been more or less mentioned yet in this universe, and I feel like just going over the galaxy. Do you feel like there was not as many cameos or references in this movie than the first one, or do you think vice versa?
When I first watched it, I felt like there wasn't as many, but there were definitely a ton of times where I went to go see this with my brother, and we're both pointing at the screen, looking at each other like, "Look at that! Did you see that guy?
Did you see that guy?"
There was I felt like there was way more in this one than there were in the first one.
Really?
100%.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess.
You want
as
you want me to go over the list?
I want to talk about one more thing before we'll go over the list.
Okay.
Thoughts on Starfighter?
Star Fox.
Star Fox?
Star Fox, sorry. Starfighter is the new movie coming out next year. Yeah, what were your thoughts on Star Fox and his introduction? Aside from Universal basically spoiling his role in the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So first of all, I was excited that we were getting Star Fox cameo, and then second of all, I was like, wait a minute. Why did they spoil this? They could the movie was coming out like in 2 days. It was
really quick.
It came out on Monday and the movie came out on Thursday. You know, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed with Universal by doing that, because I think the only reason why, which at this point I don't think it's a good enough reason in my opinion. Apparently people were like really hardcore speculating that there was a shot in the trailer and they were able to make out Star Fox's hand. So then
I remember seeing that and going, well, yeah, that's probably Star Fox, but you don't need to tell everybody.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Let them fucking speculate. That's the whole deal.
See the movie, and then when the movie comes out, then you can be like, hey, everybody, Star Fox is here.
I
was right. Yeah, exactly. It just felt really odd. Then after they mentioned like, oh yeah, Star Fox is in this movie, then they announced who was voicing it, which was Glenn Powell. All that sounds amazing. It would have been so awesome to feel that moment when she's looking for a pilot in that scene. Or maybe people can anticipate, it's like, oh, she needs a pilot. I know a great pilot in the Nintendo universe. And then they actually do it. And not just a cameo. He was pretty much there for the back half of this movie.
Yeah.
As like a support.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised that it was more than just like, hey, here's Star Fox. Okay, he's gone now.
Right. I mean, he got his own little like backstory. Like they with the different animation attached to that. I thought that was really a cool way to introduce a character. I just wish that there was more that they've done. They were doing a lot in this movie, so obviously screen time is very lucrative.
Yeah.
I just found it interesting that they gave us they took the time to give us a backstory, whereas they didn't do that for Wart, and they didn't really do that for the B characters, which I thought was
Well, they're not setting up the Wart movie or the or the B or Issa Rae's B Queen.
which I have a problem with that one too. It just didn't make any sense. That whole bit could have just not happened. It's almost like they wanted an Easter egg moment to separate Bowser and Mario.
Yeah.
And that's it. But like, who is this B Queen? Another?
She's from Mario Galaxy. It was just one of the planets, I guess. It's been a long time since I played Mario Galaxy.
Was she a boss or just?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it's just really weird that, hey, can you get me there? It's like, no, you can't. And then it's like, well, we'll give you Bowser. It's like, all right. Okay. And then Bowser's doing a hard time. And then just Bowser Jr. is like, oh, there you are, Dad. And then just sucks him up. It's like, well, that meant nothing at the end of the day. But yeah, it got very similar to Star Fox. I just wish we got a little bit more from him, because after this cool introduction, it was just like, hey, I'm a pilot. I'm just going to be cool. And I'm going to obsess over my ship. And that's really it. I felt like he could have had a moment in the final battle. And for some reason, they kind of, him and Toad, actually, they took both of them out of the equation. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Ernesto, what's the list? Who had I mentioned?
All right. So let's see. We have in that Toads in that chase scene before they go to the casino. You have the little monkey, it's called Yukiki.
Oh.
He's a thief.
Yukiki, yeah.
Yeah, he's a thief from various Mario games. Then they go. So they talks about this scene in particular. I guess there's a bunch of like little nods in that one scene leading into the casino, because he steals a backpack. They go through shady tunnels and vents. One wall has a level 1-2 graffiti nodding to the dark underworld level in the original Super Mario Brothers. They end up in the casino. The music that kicks off is an orchestral version of Jump Up Superstar from Super Mario Odyssey, used here in a totally different context for a fun contrast. You have Wart, who's the main villain from Super Mario Bros. 2. Frog-like King was originally from Doki Doki Panic. I guess that's the game he's originally from.
So Doki Doki Panic is the original version of Mario 2. Mario 2 is a reskin of Doki Doki Panic.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Wart is surrounded by a gang of classic Super Mario Bros. 2 villains at the table. You have Mauser, Birdo, Claw Grip, and his henchmen, the Ninjas. Ninjas, is that how you pronounce that? The
shuriken, the little ninja stars.
Yeah, from Super Mario Brothers 2. Let's see. She fights them. All right. So yeah. All right. So then we have Fox McCloud. We have Daisy, the Wart, the Honeybee, a Regal Bee, the Honey Queen. Excuse me.
Queen.
From Super Mario Galaxy's Honey Hive Galaxy. You have Rob, a robotic operating buddy, voiced by Ed Scudder. I don't know who that is. Runs a painfully slow information booth at the Gateway Galaxy. Classic NES peripheral reference.
I think I read somewhere that he was that was never in a game, but a very it was like a physical Nintendo branded property that never worked.
So Rob was a thing that came bundled with the NES. And there was 2 games. One of them was a game where he would pick up a disc and move it. And I forget what the other one was, but like, it was just like, he would pick up a red disc, move it, and then pick up a blue disc and move it. And it was like very hit or miss on whether or not it would work.
The game or the physical thing?
The physical thing, because it was supposed to be in conjunction with the game.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So I guess that was just a comedic nod to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also in Super Smash Brothers. So he's
He is also in Super Smash Brothers.
yes. So
I mean, who isn't in Super Smash Bros?
I'm about to list a whole bunch more. Other character cameos and background sightings: Pinkman, red, blue, and yellow, boarding an onion. Pikmin boarding an onion-shaped rocket in the Gateway Galaxy hangar. This one I missed. Little Mac and Doc Lewis from Punch Out jogging in Yoshi's Brooklyn montage. Little Mac is also a player in Super Smash Brothers. Donkey Kong, of course. Falco.
Hold on. Speaking of, where the fuck is Donkey Kong in this movie?
He's in his.
He's
world.
busy.
He's busy.
He's busy.
I'm sorry,
Donkey
man.
Kong.
He just had a whole new game. He has to go find the bananas.
Yes.
Oh, banana.
I was honestly shocked. And I guess, I know a lot of trailers came out. Maybe I was just blissfully ignorant. I didn't even read anywhere that Seth Rogen wasn't part of this movie. I noticed that he wasn't in. I figured everyone's coming back. And I understand Seth Rogen's a busy guy. He's got his whole bunch of stuff. He's working on the studio. He got Platonic. To me, it just feels like a really odd move not to bring him back. And I really liked him in Super Mario movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you just wanted to push aside one character to let another one grow.
Listen, we got too many characters in this movie already.
So.
We had so many more. I'm not done.
I just felt it was weird to have him be such a big part of the first movie and then not even mention or not. No, it was a small reference for not like his character and the whole Donkey Kong Kingdom. But what's the kingdom called?
Mushroom Kingdom?
No.
The Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
There you go, Donkey Kong Country. Yeah. Also, I heard the game is really good, like really, really good.
It's a new one.
Yeah,
it is very good. It's very good.
Yeah,
It's
I have not played it yet. The only game that I've played, and I haven't even finished yet, that actually has a story to it, aside from Mario Kart, is Mario Odyssey, which I really, really, really like Mario Odyssey. It's a lot of fun. When Megan and I have the muster to go back and play it after we haven't picked it up in probably a good 3 to 4 years, eventually we'll get through it. But I heard that the new Donkey Kong game is basically that.
No. I
Not at all.
It's more than that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They said it was comparable to Odyssey.
Scale wise, yes. Like all of the levels are scale wise, yeah, it's comparable to Mario Odyssey, but I wouldn't say it's similar because in Mario Odyssey you can't destroy the entire level.
Yeah.
And in Donkey Kong in this new Donkey Kong game, you can like literally destroy everything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
I jokingly call it Donkey Kong Punch because
That's all you do.
all you do.
He does have like a cool power set that they give him. He has like different powers. Like he can do different things. It's pretty cool. It's a good game. It's a good game for the Switch too.
All right, go on, sorry.
So moving on, we have Falco Lombardi, which is
Lombardi.
Brief flashback with Fox. Mr. Game & Watch, Luigi summons him briefly in the final act. Black Silhouette LCD. He helps fight Bowser and Bowser Jr. before he gets murdered.
That was a fun cameo.
Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Bowser shoots them with the Super Scope, which is another call out, turning them into babies. Yoshi Island vibes. Baby Mario.
Fun fact about the Super Scope.
What? It
also makes a cameo in the original 1993 Mario movie at the end where they shoot.
Oh yeah.
They shoot somebody and turn them into monkeys.
Yes, it would. Yeah, they it like turns them. They use it to convert from like the Yoshi, like the Bowser's henchmen, whatever those things are called.
The Goombas.
The Goombas. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Yoshi, obviously full supporting role. Luma Lee returns as a dark humored prison guard in the mid credits.
That was funny.
That was really funny. See, but that Luma Lee was like a really good fun like bit that they did that carried throughout the first movie that I thought they did really well.
We had just a cameo, really.
Yeah, we have a Dry Bowser when Bowser sacrifices himself to help the heroes escape, and then he's imprisoned later, obviously as a broken Dry Bowser.
That's not what happened at all.
Well, he
He
didn't,
didn't
say.
sacrifice
No,
himself.
you're right. You're right. I don't know why. That's wrong. That's not correct.
That's wrong. Yeah, he tried to kill Mario and
does.
Peaches.
You know what's funny about that? I actually think like that his story was like so weird because at first he was like, "Let's be friends, Mario. I've changed. I'm better now." And then Bowser Jr. gets him. He's like, "You know what, son? Fuck those guys."
Pretty much. She's like, "Oh, I got my kid here. No, I hate those plumbers now."
Yeah.
You know what?
They
You know
actually
what?
suck.
I'm actually okay with his arc because what made Bowser so cool in the first movie was that he was evil. Like I like that whole shtick in the movie, especially the opening scene where those gangster penguins thought they were the shit, and they were like, "Do you yield?" Like they were so confident in the fact that they were going to take down Bowser, and he goes, "I do not," and then he just takes him down like no one's business.
Yes.
I really like that energy from Bowser. I wasn't 100% down for like this rehabilitated, nice Bowser. Oh, we're friends. Oh, Mario. It's like Luigi. Like I didn't really care for that. So when he turned, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. His son, who was kind of, in a way, kind of fixated on a dream that they had when he was younger of these stories of this planet, and now like he sees that his son built all this. You can't help to be inspired to go back to your old ways. I get it, Bowser. That's easy to slip back into that. And it looks like he stayed that way. It doesn't seem like he didn't really ever go back by the end of the movie. Like he's like, "Oh, we shouldn't hurt them." And then he's like, "Yeah, kill him.
Get him, son.
Get him, son." And then he's like, "Oh, I'm a skeleton now. Well, I guess I'm gonna stay that way. That's what I get." But they're together, so you know.
That's fine. So the rest I have are game/level mechanic references. So we have the Comet Observatory, the Mega Leg. That's the little thing that Bowser Jr. flies on. It's got like the little cart thing that he drives around.
No, that's not the Mega Leg. The Mega Leg is the big thing in the beginning.
Oh, that's the thing that Rosalina fights.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Let's see. The Power Stars, the Tostarena Town and Inverted Pyramid from Super Mario Odyssey, the Paintbrush, which we talked about. Let's see. I don't remember. It says that there was a hologram in the sky / background somewhere that had the N64 logo. Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah. It's when they're in the they go into the gangster area.
Oh, that's right. It's in like that's right. We the Switch Joy-Con shaped spacecraft. I don't remember seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
The NES controller in the background. I don't remember seeing that. I do remember seeing the 8-bit Bowser pinata at Peach's birthday party. I do remember seeing that.
That was really good.
They said that on Kamek, I don't know how to pronounce his name, the wizard, Kamek.
Yeah, Kamek.
That there's a silhouette of Professor Egad, the one we were talking about. I don't
on his mug.
Yeah, on the mug. He said there was a silhouette of him on the mug.
Yeah, it was his emblem on. Yeah.
Speaking of the 8-bit, all the 8-bit scenes, you mentioned that Bowser was an 8-bit like pinata. I thought that was really, really good. Like every time they used that bit.
Yes.
Like it was the first time when Peaches left to go find Rosalina, and like Mario and Luigi are trying to help out everyone in the Mushroom Kingdom, and like they were just kind of going on these different, like it would felt like levels, and then the flags gone up when they were.
Yeah, that's from Super Mario Land. For the NES.
To me, I thought that was a really nice touch, a really nice way to just like visually see them completing tasks as if a game were. And then I think to me, honestly, the best part of the whole movie was when Bowser, like, Ernesto, you mentioned it earlier, when Bowser Jr. was like on the game console, and he's literally, in a way, it was because it was different because he was kind of programming the game in real time, like giving them all these obstacles. And then they're just kind of invading them all the way through. And we're kind of seeing like the 8-bit version of that. And there was a point where it transitioned from the 8-bit side scroller to like them like in a 3D model. And I thought that when they utilized that to me is really, really cool.
Yeah, really great mix of like what was and kind of using that to go into what is now. I love it. Like that was honestly the Bowser Jr. side scroll thing, that was like my favorite. That was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah, and also when they get to the very end and they complete it, they play like the like you
Yeah.
finished it seems like that, and then like you just see Bowser Jr. Bowser just like jaw dropped, and you're like, how they do that? It was actually a really fun scene. And then even going into the end, it kind of matching that energy at the very end of the movie when you have Mario versus Luigi versus Bowser Jr. Like with them using the power ups, a whole bunch of different stuff were happening. The dragon, like I thought that was a good mix of like really nonstop like fighting action. That was also done really well. Doesn't really serve much to the story at all because we're just trying to help Rosalina and they're just trying to like prevent them from getting any closer. I guess I don't think they're getting any further of just helping them out. But anyway, at the end of the day, they just wanted to be friends. The Bowser,
right.
or I guess they just want to make sure that they were together. I guess at the end of the day, Bowser Jr. and Bowser, because they didn't really care about anything else. Anyway, moving on to your the cameos.
Okay. So we have the Metroid ship and Captain Falcon ship from F-Zero visible in Gateway Galaxy background. I think I remember. I think I do remember that. Actually, I do remember that. The coin coffer character who runs a casino ship exchange. Pay Piranha doorway in the casino area. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Nick?
PD Piranha?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a piranha plant. He's a big baby. He's a big baby piranha plant.
He's in the doorway of the casino. Oh, the piranha
Yeah.
plant. Oh, I guess he has a name. Pay Piranha. He's in the doorway of the casino area. And then it talks about different music, the Jump Up Superstar, which plays in the casino, which I talked about. The Yoshi Island sequence, I guess plays when he's babysitting the babies. Peach's letter to Mario, like in Galaxy. What's Shine Sprite? There's a Shine Sprite on a book in Rosalina's library.
Shine Sprite.
So the Shine Sprite is from Super Mario Sunshine. It's that game's version of like stars. Like when you beat the Shine Sprite.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. That's the list I got. Although, what about the power ups? I don't remember. Well, Luigi was a frog, and then somebody was shooting clouds.
That's from Super Mario 3.
Somebody was shooting clouds. Was that Mario? And then he had the
That was
drill head.
Luigi.
That was Luigi. That's
Yeah.
right. And then he had the drill head Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And all these were from
Those are from later games. Those are from
okay.
Yeah, the clouds from Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I was curious. Excuse me. I was curious if they had made up any of those power ups or if they were all.
No, they're all the power ups are from the game, and even my favorite power up shows at the end. It's the feather where it gives Mario the yellow cape.
And
That's right. Yeah.
And does it just make him fly?
Yeah.
He's got to get a running start first.
Yeah.
That's from the game.
And the same with the black star at the end that basically gave him all the same powers as the yellow star.
Mm-hmm.
Was that any different?
No, it's just a different one.
Okay. Was that featured in any game specifically that they're shouting out, or is that featured in multiple games?
It's from Mario Party.
Or Party. Okay. So just out of curiosity, as a Nintendo fan, looking at this movie specifically, even referencing the first movie, are you kind of okay with them coming up with their own story, even though it's called Galaxy, and like having all of these references kind of compiled into one, or would you rather see them focus on one story in particular as the title of the movie? Like, would you have rather see them focus solely on the storyline that kind of was presented in Mario Galaxy, or do you like this hybrid where there's just a lot of references are being thrown at you?
Well, I think so. I have to think of it in two different ways because
Okay.
On one hand, who is their core audience, right? Their core audience is kids and their parents, right? And you can't look at any of this too critically. You're not going to judge the Paw Patrol movie in the same way you're judging Schindler's List or or Citizen Kane,
Yeah, but I do think that there's there has to be some level to where like it doesn't need to be that, but like you look at movies like K-pop Demon Hunters, kids movie. My young kids love it. We watched it probably 100 million times. And then you have movies like Mitchell, like, and then that one's a little different because it's a musical, so it's already the barrier to entry is probably a little different. But then you look at a movie like Mitchell's versus the Machines, another really great kids movie. Actually had a really good story and like a great plot. So I see what you're saying, but like at a certain point, like it's got to be less about the like the individual scenes that they're trying to string together and like trying to string together a full cohesive narrative. Like maybe they could have flushed out easily the Rosalina and Peach thing to make it a little bit more impactful, I felt.
And I agree. I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like, they only have so much time to work on it, and Nintendo's notoriously like protective of all of their stuff. So there's a lot of back and forth that goes on between Illumination and Nintendo to be like, are we showing showcasing our IP correctly? I think that adds to time, to the time of like building the movie, you know, and they're just trying to, at some point they got to go, well, we have to put something together.
Right.
Yeah. So, but then like at that point, just delay it. Like, or maybe there should be every one of these movies, there should be somebody from Nintendo attached writing it. So that avoids all of this. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, it's not like there's like a lot of strong, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, a lot of strong storytelling when it comes to some of these games. Like, yes, there is lore, but like at the end of the day, you have your objectives that you're going by, but there's not like a huge story angle attached to it. So
yeah,
like,
I mean, not with Mario, with some of the other IP there is, but
sure.
You know, Mario is pretty, I feel like the stories with Mario are pretty fast and loose.
Yeah. Which makes sense. You said there was another angle. You said there was one way of looking at it and there's another way of looking at it.
And then just like looking at it from, you know, a story perspective, you know, the story wasn't strong. And I think that even though the story wasn't strong for me, the visuals and all like the little sight gags made up for it.
And I feel like that translates more because you're a fan of all of it. So like
if you're not a fan of any of this stuff, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to watch this movie.
I know this Mario character. I can get into it.
Yeah.
Well, I just, it's interesting because with most movies, would you easily categorize as movies for the fans?
I think so. Yeah. I felt pretty good walking out of the theater. I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like,
yeah.
Did you watch a Minecraft movie at all?
Yes, I did. I watched it after it had come out on HBO. So
okay. Do you play Minecraft or have you played at all?
No, I've never played a Minecraft.
Did you like the movie?
It was fun. It was okay.
Okay.
It wasn't great.
So I've never seen it because I know right off the rip, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the trailer. I knew I wasn't going to like it. I didn't even bother wasting my time watching a movie I knew I wasn't going to like. However, what I've heard from a lot of the reviews were if you were a fan of the game and the mechanics of the game, you will have a lot of fun with this movie.
Yeah.
And clearly there was that's what happened. And so with Mario, again, very similar. I'm familiar with Mario. I have played Mario. I have played more Mario Kart that doesn't have any story whatsoever. So like a lot of these characters, a lot of this lore, like I'm familiar with them, but I don't know the context in which they came from. So I'm going off, and which I do a lot of these movies, is coming off from a story perspective. And at that rate, like that's what I got going for myself. Very similar to Sonic. I have never played a Sonic game. However, there is story there, a very loose one, but there's enough there to keep families entertained. Whereas this and so far the two Mario movies are very much making sure that children are having fun, not necessarily that the families are all getting like a full cohesive story. But to your point, if you're a fan of it and you're familiar with all these Easter eggs, I guess it doesn't matter what the story is because we're all just having fun.
Exactly.
I think, Matt, you actually brought up a good point. I think what I was trying to say, I think Sonic is a better comparison. Like where they're fun and engaging, but it is the games are very similar to like what the Mario games are. Where like, well, actually, no, I take that back. I feel like there's definitely. Well, actually, I don't know. What do you think, Nick? Because I would say like
I think
with
it's
the
about
Chaos
the same
Emeralds,
because there's some really really weird Sonic lore. Like, if you ever want to learn about it, you can go watch there's a Polygon video where Brian David Gilbert goes through the Sonic lore, and it's bizarre.
And it's interesting because every Sonic movie they just introduce a different colored looking Sonic that I don't know who they are. So like, and I was like, because at the end of the first movie, like, and here's Yellow Sonic, and I was like, who's Yellow Sonic?
Yellow Sonic.
He's
And
talking
it's
about
named-
Tails.
Tails. Tails is orange.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
And
Also, Yellow Sonic is like Chaos Sonic. He
That's
like
fair.
goes Super Saiyan, and
that was in the first or the third movie. The
it
second
was it in the second one? It was
He
the one
went-
with Shadow.
Third one.
That's the third one then. Third one. Yeah, I remember he going Super Saiyan in that one. And then like very similar to like, and then at the end of the second movie they're like, and now I guess they gave us Knuckles and Tails in the first movie or the 2nd movie, and then we got Shadow, and I was like, oh, there's Black Sonic, and then there's Red Sonic introduced in this movie, and now at the end of the 3 we got a Pink Sonic, and I don't know who that is either.
She's got a mallet.
And she's got a mallet, yeah, and now being voiced by Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Veronica Mars herself.
Veronica Mars herself, Anna herself from Frozen. And so I just feel like that to me that's what the Mario movies are. It's like, here's this new character. I don't know.
Matt, you forgot one. There was also a Metal Sonic.
Yeah. And Robot Sonic. Or he's a robot.
Yeah, Robot Sonic, Metal Sonic.
In the third movie?
No, at the end of the third movie, Amy shows up and Metal Sonic.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Introduced?
He didn't watch the post credit.
Yeah, clearly not.
You need to go back. You need to go to that YouTube channel you follow and get the breakdown of Sonic 3.
I probably will when Sonic 4 comes out. I was like, I need to watch these videos again.
I need to catch up.
I need to catch up. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not rewatching those movies again. I'll tell you that. Not because they're bad. I'm just saying I'm not going to spend like 5 hours of my day to rewatch those.
They're also very silly, which I think
They
that's
are
also
very silly.
what is the connection between like the Sonic movies and this. Like this movie is just it's a silly kids movie.
Yes.
And sometimes it's hard to, as a frequent moviegoer like ourselves, it's hard to like put that aside of just being a silly fun movie and without any sort of connective tissue. Like in some cases, especially walking to this one, I'm not looking for much, but it definitely felt very similar. I don't think I've ever talked about it on the podcast, but I watched Despicable Me 4. I think I might have mentioned it before. Very similar to that. That movie did not have there was no cohesive story at all. Very similar to Secret Life of Pets 2, and now I'm seeing a trend here with the Illumination brand is that
Silly kid, just silly kids
It's all coming together.
it's all coming together. Yeah, we're just it's just these vignettes that could probably stand on its own without, but then they just somehow just come together at the end. So like there's a lot of good moments in those movies, but when we're trying to tie them all in together, it just doesn't correlate to one another, and that I have a hard time with because I don't know if it's your job to make a story, it's all fine if you want to have silly bits in there, but at least give me something to kind of follow. And I feel like I don't know, for me that just comes with lazy writing, and that has nothing to do with the animation, the characters, the cameos. It's just the story they decided to put together, and then it just kind of diminishes the characters that you do see a little bit. Like I think Rosalina should have gotten more time. Considering that she was in the trailer from the beginning, like she was a character that was teased very early on, and we got more from Bowser Jr. in this go around than we did with yeah, we got more Bowser Jr. That he got the most story out of any new character, and then Yoshi was just Yoshi. Like
Yeah.
we didn't get any. He was your favorite new pet that we get
Yeah.
to be around the whole movie. That's voiced by Donald Glover. So I don't know how about that. I want to quickly talk about the box office, however, and this movie opened to came up wrong here. There we go. This movie opened to 100 and hold on.
31.
$131.7 million, which is a little bit shy of the first movie, which opened to $146.3 million. Understandably so. I mean, obviously, the first movie is going to be more popular just by nature when it's coming into theaters for the first time. So at the time of this, and with a budget of $110 million, the second movie, the first movie had a budget of $100 million. So they only bumped it up by 10 million, which is not that bad in comparison when you think of a sequel. You probably spent a lot more money on a sequel. They only bumped it up by 10 million, so pretty modest with that comparison. But at the time of this recording, Super Mario Galaxy movie has made $317.6 million domestically, $321.3 internationally, with a grand total of $639 million worldwide. And the box office numbers kind of quiet down for the first movie at about $1.3 billion. So I would say it's probably on its way of making the $1 billion mark. This movie has only been out for roughly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Count on the first.
Yeah, on the first. So approaching now its third weekend as we're recording this. So yeah, it's definitely making $1 billion probably within the next 2 weeks or so. We're probably going to get to that. No surprise here. This is a big franchise. Another movie's coming in the next 3 years. They didn't announce it, but we all know what's happening. Like Illumination's not going to, squander on this brand. So with that, Nick, I will ask you, what do you want to see in the next Mario movie, given what's being teased, what we've seen so far, and what you want to see in the next movie?
Well, I think we already said it. Wario and Waluigi.
Right. I want the return of Donkey Kong. And so do you think it's time now for what a lot of people have been asking for is the Super Smash Bros. Movie? Do you feel like this is a natural progression to that, or do we need to introduce more characters before we get there, or
well,
what?
So I have a quote somewhere from Miyamoto about this. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
That's what I want. I want Super Smash Brothers movie to be like the Avengers event.
The Avengers of the Nintendo universe. I mean, so far already they've introduced a lot of characters. Either cameos they've gotten like full-blown story moments. I don't know if there's other like big Nintendo brands that have been left on the table. I feel like Kirby is one for the taking there. I don't know what the rules are, or as far as like the
you got Kirby, you got Zelda. Zelda's a really big Super Smash Brothers character.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing the live action, but I feel like this would be separate from that.
Yeah. No, for sure. Has Sonic ever been in Super Smash Bros? Have they ever crossed that over?
He's in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, he's in Smash Brothers.
Yep, he's right. We just need him to cross over.
Yeah, seriously. I'm just curious if they will ever go that far, or if they're just quite happy with this type.
I don't think so. I think I can't find the exact quote, but Miyamoto basically said like he kind of wants to keep everything separate. Like as much as I would love to see a Smash Brothers movie, and here's the other thing, he could just be lying.
He's a liar.
Sometimes it doesn't occur to me that people lie.
Yeah. And they're like
or just
really
say,
good
you
at
know,
it.
And it but Nintendo's really good about either not addressing something if they don't want to talk about it, or finding a way around it. And Miyamoto said basically, I just want to keep everything separate for now.
How does Kirby fit into this? Does he fit into the Super Mario world? Or he's like its own movie type of character.
I mean, Kirby had his own show on Fox Kids in the early 2000s. I would think that there's enough lore for Kirby to have his own movie,
rather than like starting here and then spinning off. Or I guess you could do that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like those are like the big characters that honestly that I'm looking for. Like that I'm honestly surprised that have not been alluded to. And the same for Zelda. Zelda's huge. Obviously they're doing the live action movie. Maybe they don't want to touch that for
I don't know if I have 1, 2.
Yeah. Are you a big Zelda fan? I don't know.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Not at all.
This whole show.
How do you feel about the upcoming movie? Are you excited about it?
I have mixed emotions. I'm super excited. I'm super excited that they're doing a Zelda movie. I've wanted a Zelda movie for a million years, for probably 30 years. But also I don't know how they're going to approach the character of Link. And
is he gonna speak?
Is he gonna speak? What's it gonna sound like? Because essentially the character of Link his name is Link because he is the avatar link between you and the video game world, essentially, is what the lore behind his name is. And like he's just, a version of you for the video games, basically. And which is why he's like kind of a silent protagonist. And I don't know that works in a 90-minute or 2-hour film.
I think there's a world where it would be very hard, but I think you could happen. We have silent movies.
Yeah.
Other people can talk and he can just kind of do,
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way, because I agree with you. I don't know much about Zelda as far. I've never played the games. I know I heard Breath of the Wild is like incredibly gorgeous and one of the top tier games of all time for any console. And I'm curious to see if they go against that. Will that instantly ruin the movie for you?
I don't know. I'm just gonna have to watch it and like, I don't know, because I don't know if it'll. What?
I said, and we'll have you back on the show to hear those.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Let's go ahead and lock that in now.
Yeah, no, Zelda is my number one favorite Nintendo franchise.
And I guess I would say that it's probably in good hands, given that the director Wes Ball is responsible for the Maze Runner trilogy, which were a pretty solid trilogy of movies. And
he says he's a fan, so I trust it.
Yeah. And he's also responsible for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the newest Planet of the Apes movie, which was also really good. I think he's actually, what it seems like, it's delaying a sequel to Planet of the Apes because he attached himself to do The Legend of Zelda. And that movie comes out next year. I believe it says May 7th next year. So about a month
2027.
away. And let's see, who we got writers? Derek Potterly, who wrote... Okay, all right. Well, okay. Responsible for writing the first Jurassic World movie.
Okay.
Which was good. Also responsible for writing Kong Skull Island, which was a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that was great.
Was also responsible for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which was
less. Not as good as the first one.
He received story by credit that could mean anything for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. That's Star Wars.
He probably could have just showed up.
Yeah.
At J.J. Abrams' birthday party or something.
Sure.
Like, hey, use this idea.
Yeah, and then he also got story credit for Jurassic World Dominion, which is also less. But again, he didn't write the screenplay, so there's that.
Yeah.
And I think this was a big win. He's also the writer behind Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
And that was a pretty good movie. And then he was also responsible for a movie that came out on Amazon last year called Deep Cover, which, Ernesto, if you remember, that was in my Hidden Gems of 2025 list.
That's right.
And so I thought that was a pretty solid movie. So I think as far as the writer-director combo, it's a good mix.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like he is like, that writer is an action and director, action heavy and a little bit of comedy. So that could be the realm of Zelda that we're looking for. I don't know how much comedy's in these Zelda games.
I mean, a little bit, but not like, most of the comedy comes from like translation of things.
I see. but yeah, I have nothing to go off of. So obviously, I have very little expectations going into this movie than you do, considering there's a lot of memorabilia right behind you.
Yeah.
With all that being said, however, Nick, your final thoughts on the Super Mario Galaxy movie and your 5-star rating.
I'm gonna give it a first. I'm gonna start with the rating 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. And I thought it was pretty good. It held my attention for the time it was. I had fun. I left the theater happy.
Ernesto.
So it was decent. It was, it had its moments. There's things that I wish that I thought could have been better, but I mean, it's fine. It was fine for what it was. But as a kids movie geared towards younger kids, it was fine. I'm kind of floating between like a 2.5 and a 3, probably closer to a 3.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Ernesto. I was also floating 2.5 to 3, and I think I'm also leaning toward the 3.
Yeah.
As well. Which, Nick, I'm honestly surprised you said 3.5. I was expecting a higher number from you.
I mean, it was good, but it wasn't. I don't know. The movie I saw before it was Project Hail Mary, and it was that got a 5. So
we did that one last week. That was a deep dive we did between the book and the movie.
So good.
Yeah,
definitely did the book justice.
Yeah, we had our thoughts on that. We agree with you, but there's an asterisk to that.
There's a
yes, it did, but there's like a little
there's a footnote to that.
There's a footnote to that statement. Yes. For that we gave it a 4.5 out of 5, and it's only because we read the book, honestly. But that was a conversation for last week's episode. For those who haven't listened to that, it's definitely a great conversation as we compared the book and the movie. But I would say that Super Mario Galaxy movie, if I remember correctly, probably the first movie, we weren't doing stars back then. We probably would have put it around the same spot. I think it holds up to, or maybe the Super Mario movie was a little bit better. Maybe we would have given it 3.5 out of 5.
I probably would have rated the first one. I think the story on the first one was a little bit more cohesive. Like we talked about the Lumily, like that little comedic string they had throughout there. We had a lot of we had a lot of comedy from Donkey Kong. I guess now looking back, he carried a lot of the movie. I mean, the whole Mario Kart chase scene, I just thought like that was a moment. See, but that's what I mean. Like it's very similar to what they did in this movie, where it's realistically it's just like a plug-in for like here's a bunch of references. But I felt like they wove it in a little bit better in the first one because it felt more natural when we hit these moments in the first movie.
Sure. So I guess 3.5 would have made sense for that movie. So then 3 makes sense for me here. It wasn't as good, but it wasn't horrible by any means. Like the voice acting still great, the animation still looks great. The introduction of these new characters, for the most part, added some value to the movie, and they had a lot of great moments in there. But putting them together didn't add much to the overall scope of this movie. Because when you start the third movie, you could probably just start fresh and it'll be fine. We're not really stringing along anything aside from whatever's going on with the princess storyline at that point. But I'm curious to see, like, at this point, if we're looking ahead into the next movie, like, do we put aside Bowser for now? Like we kind of had him for the first 2 movies as our main villain-ish type character. We had Bowser Jr. To me, like you said, Nick, it feels like a perfect avenue to bring in Wario and Waluigi to kind of mix things up a little bit as our new antagonist going in here. But yeah, I mean, even the critic score, I'm looking at it now, Super Mario Galaxy movie got a 44% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. However, it received an 89% by the audience score. And in comparison, 59 by critics, 95 by audiences in the first movie. So going down a little bit, but however, the audience score is still extremely high compared to the critics. But anyway, yeah, 3 out of 5 stars is probably solid at the end of the day. But there you go. That's our spoiler review on Super Mario Galaxy movie, and that is all the show that we have for you guys this week. Nick, thank you for joining us for this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
About Mario. Clearly, we're going to have you back on for Zelda. I feel like there's a lot going on with that movie that we just need to discuss when that comes out next year. But if you want more from us, you can always follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Box Office Bingers, our X and Letterboxd page at Box Office Binger, and our Threads and Instagram page at Box Office_Bingers. The fun doesn't stop here. It continues on all of our social media channels. So be sure to give each one of those a follow. We'll tell you what's new to streaming every Friday. We'll tell you what the box office numbers every Sunday. We'd like to thank you, Nick. We'd like to thank you again for joining us, just talking about movies. And I mean, you've been around for a lot.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first.
I think it was the first Sonic movie.
No, it was before that.
It was before that?
Yes, I know it was during the pandemic. It was around 2020. And I believe we reviewed
me a second, I'll check.
Freak. I'm going with the movie called Freak.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think that's right.
It starts
Tell
with
you
an
right now.
F.
All right, so Nick Rivera has been on. Oh,
I know it was not a Mario movie or Sonic.
it was Sonic. February 21st of 2020, episode 16. Nick came on for Sonic the Hedgehog episode. Then he came back for 67 for WandaVision.
6-7.
And then he came back for
No
103 for Ghostbusters Afterlife. Then he was back for 119 for Sonic 2. And then 167 for Super Mario Brothers. And then 212 for Frozen Empire.
There's a movie missing there, Ernesto. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know what to tell you unless we have a mysterious lost episode that's roaming or floating in the.
I mean, that sounds about right to me. I don't think
That sounds correct. 2020, I was like right around, like we were like maybe like a year or two in, because we're pushing 6 years now.
Yes, we are pushing 6 years. Man, we don't have the time for this, but I really want to go back. I know there's a movie. There's a movie that we're not talking about right now.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. I feel like there is a movie that was earlier on. I'm scrolling really fast right now. I'm sorry, Nick.
You can search. You can just type his name and it'll show up all the ones that have his name on it.
I think that's where we're having the problem here. I don't think it's.
You don't think
maybe,
we would have listed him as a guest.
Yeah, I know we would have. Let's see, episode 16. Yeah, there's Nick.
Yeah.
There's another episode. If I see the title.
There's one where we talked about.
Yeah, Freaks, right here. We had Nick on for Freaks, episode 25.
25.
Episode 25. He came back on for Freaks. We talked. I think we also talked about Animal Crossing in that episode as well.
Yeah. You are. You know why? I couldn't find it because that was when he was still using the Nick DTV handle.
That's right.
Oh.
That's what it was.
What was Freaks? I don't remember this movie.
I guess go back and listen to the episode then.
I guess so, yeah.
All right, I feel validated. We can end the show now. All right, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening to us just talk about movies. Really do appreciate it. Come back next week for more movie fun. You're not going to regret it. And for that, I've been your host, Matt Diaz.
Nick, thank you for coming on. I've been Ernesto Santos. So glad you feel validated, Matthew.
I do.
See you guys.